gathered friends, listen again to our legend of Mad Max. We're in a new place, a new time, and everybody's feeling fine. Who have we got with us today?
Everything is awesome!
This whole plot, I want to hear, like, Levi's immediate thoughts on this, because, like, compared to where it ended off with Makuta's diary, now it's just like an episode of Monty Python. It's like, and now for something completely different.
It's pretty jarring, but I mean, it's been fun.
Now you know how we felt.
It's all right.
Chip said Mad Max, and the first thing that popped in my head was Lego Movie.
Nah, it's a
I
Lego
still
movie
haven't
too.
seen the second one.
Yeah, the second one, Lego Movie 2. It is on HBO now, which means it is easier to pirate.
HBO.
I don't even need to pirate it. My brother has the DVD, I just haven't watched it.
HBO has a streaming service for some reason. And I assume it's a separate charge from the subscription you already have to do subscription. I hate capitalism so much. Lego is the only ethical consumption under capitalism.
Well, before we get too deep into the capitalism talk, we should probably introduce everyone. So,
Yeah,
as normal, we have
Johnson!
Jesse, of course. Yeah, well, yes, Eljay, of course. He's back. Hello.
Say it though, Lewa Johnson.
Lewa?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Mystery
taking a
King of
break.
Know Nothingness. That's me.
Yeah, he's sitting out the whole year of 2009. So we brought Lewa in on our first podcast from this year.
I'm not going to do Tree Speak. I hate Tree Speak.
Well,
You are only allowed to speak in Tree Speak now.
All right, and now that you spoke said that, I'm going to do that. So now I'm looking up.
Oh no. You've doomed us
I'm
all.
search looking for Tree Speak now.
Oh god, what have I done?
Wait, what have you done?
I just wanted to make a fun joke about how Eljay identifies with Lewa so much. I just wanted to make a fun joke, and now
You
I
don't
have
understand.
to sit here.
I am.
You have quick to do with every person.
Yep, that is.
Well, time to quit, Crun.
Oh god.
So, how about we get into that story that we done read?
I have so many notes, and I wasn't expecting to have any of the notes because the thing that I'm most interested in that happens in this year hasn't happened yet. So I was like, well, this book's filler, and I like this book, so I had a lot of notes.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how much stuff...
is filler until spoilers.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I forgot how much stuff happened before, it ties back into the main plot.
Yeah. The thing that will happen at the beginning of the movie is, for years, has been where I consider 2009 to start. I knew there was shit that happened before the movie. Also, sorry, LJ, we've already been demonetized. You will not be paid for this episode.
Dang! It was in my contract.
We have contracts.
Well, you better read the fine print of that contract, because it also says we own all your assets now.
It's a good thing.
In
one
the
of my
fine
notes
print,
here,
it just says, haha, JK, LOL.
It's a good thing that one of my notes here is that Gresh is a lawyer.
I'm burn firing my lawyer. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you'll hire Gresh. He's much better than Vastus. All the Jungle
boy.
Victorian are
Gresh,
lawyers.
Vastus, what are these silly Latin names?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right.
this is the point in the series where they stopped doing, like, they completely dropped doing, like, gibberish and Maori and Fijian and stuff like that.
And there were
Like,
other
they obviously
languages.
dropped the latter very early on, but they still had sort of influences of it in the names up until this point. Now, it's all Latin. Barra Magna literally stands for, like, barren... I think it's, like, barren sphere... or barren planet or something like that. Spherus Magna is literally big sphere.
Yeah, Bionicle names between 2001
It's all
and
Latin.
2000. Bionicle names between now and 2001 have mostly been gibberish with some hints of actual language. Now it's mostly all Latin, which is...
It makes sense.
Sounds just as much like gibberish, but it's better.
So Magna does translate into great, and Aqua is water, so it's great water.
Yeah.
And
makes
Bara is, like you said, it's barren, so it would be the Great Baron.
And of course, Bota Magna, which hasn't been formally introduced yet, but it's not too much of a spoiler to say there is.
Great forest.
It's a big ball.
Like
It's a big ball of dirt. Who cares?
At dirt and plants.
I just love, though, that the direct translation for Spherus Magna is literally big ball.
Giants or great sphere.
Yep, the entirety of Bara Magna is the atmosphere of Liam's planet in No Man's Sky. There was a bug that the atmosphere harvesters in No Man's Sky would extract Big Ball from the atmosphere of weird planets.
I forgot about that.
It's just an item called Big Ball, and no one knows what it is.
What's a big ball?
It's all there.
It's presumably an item for the Big Ball entity that's like a big soccer ball you can kick around, but it was
Oh yeah, this might be a good point as well to brag that before I moved, my friend who, a local friend I know that used to be in mask posting, we made a couple trades before we arranged to make a small trade for some parts before I left for Scarborough after moving away from Oakville. And he showed up at the mall with the parts. I only brought like a few spare things I had. He brought an entire fucking Scopio.
Oh fuck yeah!
And the Sandbox and a couple Glatorian.
Hey Liam, can you send Tolaris what's his face to Levi? He said he really likes him.
I do really like him.
Maybe,
He's a
I
good
don't
boy.
know.
But
Most
yeah,
people- You don't like Perdidas.
That was a big flex.
Yeah.
nice.
Well, speaking of trading, that's how the book starts.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're first introduced
Segways.
First introduced to Barracks. He's a little Agori boy from the village of Tejun. Those are all words that you'll understand by the end of this book, probably.
I used to hate him because I only knew him from the movie and he was annoying. But here he's
He's voiced by James Arnold Taylor, the same voice actor as Ratchet and Johnny Test.
Yeah, but he's okay here. He's okay here.
Yeah, he's pretty good, actually.
In this instance, the metal claw isn't on the other foot.
Yeah.
I like that he just finds stuff and people think he stole it, but then he tells them, hey, there's a whole bunch over here, and it was like, oh, you did find it. Well,
And then they immediately forget and accuse him of stealing again.
yeah, they have the memory.
Yeah.
They have the memories of a Josie.
Also, I love this. I both love and hate this entire opening section of the book because it's like the Madanui Online Game 2 stuff all over again. It
literally is
a drawn out transcription of the My Lego Network campaign.
Oh yeah, in chapter 1.5. Yeah.
Apparently, it's even worse than Madanui Online Game because apparently, this protagonist doesn't even have a name.
No, you don't even know who or what he is.
He's
what tribe is he from?
He is just called Hiro Agori officially.
You don't know Hiro Agori Jones?
I had canon that he's from the Iron Tribe because that's a thing we'll get into later.
No. Iron Tribe Agori aren't allowed in the villages. It says he's Fire Tribe apparently.
Huh.
Oh wait, y'all don't. Oh yeah, no, there was a contest.
There was a contest. There was a contest.
Personally, I wanted him to be from the Jungle Tribe because of bias toward green, but yeah, no, he's Fire Tribe because we don't have enough of the red folk, apparently.
I decide that his name should be Bingzak.
Wasn't there a whole plot point about the fact that Ranu didn't recognize this guy? If he's from the Fire Tribe, wouldn't Ranu recognize him?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Not necessarily. It's talked about that Bara Magna is more than just these villages that we know. Like they keep talking about.
I think we should clear up a couple things before we continue. For one, if it wasn't clear before now, Levi, the dead bodies in the master control room of the Madanui robot, those were Glatorian.
Yep.
Yes.
They were basically it's never explained in the actual story there, but they were there to pilot it when it initially took off.
Yeah, it'll never be relevant again, so we're just telling you here.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was super confusing. I thought they were Toa.
And they were meant to eject out of it afterwards, but the eject mechanism broke and they died there.
Are these the ones where it was like,
ejection?
why have they got like multicolored armor?
Also, Glatorian, as it was stated there, Glatorian and Agoria are entirely organic, and they have finite lifespans. Well, finite... finite in the Bionicle universe is like Matoran and Turaga, they'll live forever as long as they're not killed. Glatorian and Agori probably have a lifespan of maybe a couple 100,000 years.
Live forever if they're not killed, you
like-
say, thinking emoji.
They unlike the inhabitants of the Matoran universe, they reproduce biologically.
Mm-hmm.
They do the big fuck.
Have you been?
They do the big nut.
Are you familiar with their physiology? Their
Me?
because any of you.
Yeah, basically they are born entirely fleshy and they just have armor implanted onto them as they grow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Ew.
their bone structure is actually metallic.
Yeah, I don't know if we
I
can
didn't
ever.
know that.
I don't know if we can ever get Greg on this podcast. But someone's got to get a hold of him and ask him go into deep on the Glatorian boning.
Yeah.
Let me try and find the source. It's on BSO1.
Also, I
Okay.
guess it is canon that Glatorian and Agori are completely different species, so there's no
Yep.
like inter-evolution like there is between Matoran and Toa.
I don't know. Matoran and Toa are considered separate species, even though they're not.
What?
I'm pretty. They're considered. I think they're part of a lineage. So it's like the Matoran lineage. So it's Matoran, Toa,
Yeah.
Traga.
Yeah.
I think of it like Pokemon.
Basically.
See, I grew up on Digimon. So.
Point is, Glatorian and Agori completely different. Also, the gender, as is apparent with Barracks and what's
Kina.
his name, Tarex. The gender norms of the Matoran universe don't apply here.
Yeah,
Now,
Mostly.
they don't apply, but there's only one female character, and she's blue.
Not only is there
Unless
only
you
one
count
female.
the Sisters of the Scrawl, which we never see ever.
Only the toy characters count, Liam. And there's even less girl this year because there are 2 blue toys, but only one of them. Well, there are 3 blue toys, and only one of the 3 is blue.
They're actually there are 5 blue characters in 2009 because of Kerbraz
right,
and
yeah.
Skidonius.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And only
just-
one of
just-
them's a girl.
It's
How come-
just Kina.
So how come 2 of the blue toys' names rhyme, but Kina's doesn't? Shouldn't her name be Carrots?
Well, you see, there's a little backstory. You guys are talking about the naming convention earlier and how
Yes,
it's far more
yeah.
Latin. This is really where, this is the time, 08, 09, where Greg started kind of introducing names that were taken from other things. So, for instance, Gresh was taken from one of his earlier novels. Pterodax was a name...
It was World
Y'all
of
might
Warcraft
hate this.
character. Yeah.
Pterodax was a name that was a World of Warcraft character of his.
Yeah,
we mentioned that last episode.
Someone
Okay,
gotta get a hold
excellent.
of Greg and ask him what his opinions are on WoW Classic.
Now, Kina... Oh, dang, that's a good question. I should have asked... Well, okay, it wasn't... All right, so Kina was named loosely inspired by Greg Farshti's ex-wife, Jakina.
Oh, fuck.
Huh.
So
okay.
her name is spelled Jackina, but Kina is Kiina.
See, I did not know
It
that.
should be noted that Jakina was Greg's wife at the time. She wasn't his ex-wife at the time.
That this is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, they were married.
I had heard that people thought Kino was basically his wife. I did not know that she was literally his wife.
Yeah.
So I think Malum. I'm sorry, not Malum. That's G2. Melum. No, fudge.
Malum
That's
is-
G2.
No, that is Malum.
I had it right the first time. Dang it.
Melons!
Malum is also Latin for something, but I don't actually remember
Malum,
what.
I know
Evil.
the prefix is literally like malicious, so...
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's like
it's like not
magma?
hatred, but like intent to
Fire?
hurt.
I pronounce
Yeah.
his name like Malum.
Well, mal just means
Well,
bad.
no, yeah, like mal, the prefix
Yeah.
for malicious.
That works better.
Makes sense.
Malice,
let
etc.
me see.
I didn't know he was so cool. I just knew he looked cool.
Yeah. He's actually
he's
a really cool guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Super cool
He's a
set.
cool guy. He don't afraid of anything.
I also I'm just
He also
everything-
speaks to the trees.
Everything about which characters were released in what wave makes
Well,
makes
the
so little
Curtis,
sense
you
to
need
me.
to draw Malum as the Lorax now.
I always assumed that Akar was younger than Malum, but it seems like Akar is actually the older one.
They released
Yeah,
it
he
in an awfully peculiar manner.
Yeah.
It absolutely should have been start first the prime Glatorian, or rather the secondary Glatorian, and then after the primary Glatorian, because they're the legends.
Yeah, that was something I wanted
sense.
to ask.
Yes.
Glatorian, is that a species or a title?
Both.
Yes.
Kind of both, yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Right.
it's like how Toa was both an occupation and a species, and now we'll find out. We'll find out next year. Turaga, it can be a title independent of a species that it is also
a little
named
more honorarily.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
So
it-
in the case you're talking about, define honor.
Yeah. Okay,
that is
so in the
well-
case of Glatorian, basically there is a Glatorian species that is what most of the big boy characters in this arc are, but then there's also Glatorian as an occupation, which the Skrull exhibit. Skrull are a separate species, but they can also be Glatorian in the arena.
And
Yes.
from my understanding, Vorox and Zesk are also separate species from both Glatorian and Agori.
Kind
Yes, but
They're literally called animals, and that's like all over the place.
Well,
even the
gosh,
guy
they're-
who likes them apparently calls them
can't-
animals.
Well, like they were obviously like an intelligent race before, but they clearly have different physiology regardless.
I'm not sure how much I can speak talk on the subject of Vorox without getting too deep far into spoiler territory.
yeah, fair enough.
So there are reasons and logic explanations for these things. So
Yeah.
but yeah, on the subject topic of Glatorian, Glatorian is a title. It is an occupation. We do not knowledge know the actual species name.
This
Of
fucking
Glatorian.
Knowledge,
I swear
no.
to God.
Knowledge,
trying.
no. Seriously.
I am trying so hard. I will not.
Yeah, Greg hated writing Tree Speak. That's why he abandoned it. That's why he abandoned it as quickly as he could. Except he didn't, because for some reason he decided to write a Lamatorian and Maranui fucking Tree Speak. Why would he do that? I really hate Tree Speak, and Lego isn't telling me to use it anymore. I'm just gonna do it.
Because you're aware of who mandated it, right?
Wait,
Oh.
Lego
I didn't even know
Lego
it was
did mandate it?
No. It was not Lego that mandated Tree Speak.
Was it Pope Benedict?
It was
Are we
Bob
talking like in the
Thompson.
beginning or in 2007?
Oh,
We're
Bob
talking
Thompson.
all the way up till 2005, and then
Okay.
Bob Thompson left. So
One of the co-creators of Bionicle just stepped in and said, "No, Greg, you must write the ridiculous tree language."
basically, and there's no point reason to it. It's
That's
awfully
hilarious.
redundant.
It really is interesting. Like when he must have been making decisions late into the series, because in very early media, like the first comics and stuff, Tree Speak wasn't a thing. Legend of Matanui is a prime example of this, actually. Tree Speak wasn't a thing. TuragaNuva didn't speak bird, and just a lot of other character traits just weren't defined in the way they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby
What I
Tom Toms just wanted the green ones to talk
Bobby
and
Tom
sound. Bobby Tom just wanted the green ones to speak all weird and sound all unique and stuff. He wanted them to have their own flavor, and that flavor was bullshit.
What I suspect is that those other instances were because they were done by other people. So like Greg wasn't a full part of the story team at that point. And then the Legend of Matanui was probably just incredible. It was broken, disconnected from everything else. So Bob probably didn't have too much hand influence on it.
Well, it was meant to, from what I gather from, like, various different sources going back a ways, that game was meant to set the canon for that year in a similar way that Mnog later would.
What if Bob Thompson only enforced the Tree Speak rule on Greg specifically because
What if he only enforced the Tree Speak rule on Layla?
I ever suspect that they did not get along. Just through kind of context clues.
You don't necessarily need to hate someone to want to fuck with them.
I don't know, because I don't know.
fair
I
enough.
don't necessarily hate Liam, but I will act like I do, and every chance I get.
Hey, Josie, you're a cunt.
You know, it's
Hey.
20 minutes in. We should probably start talking about the actual progress of events going on.
Yeah.
Please,
wait,
God, we
if
need
I
to end
recall-
this before he
if
keeps
I-
talking like that.
I'm terrible.
But-
Sorry, I got off in the deep weeds there.
If I recall correctly, we start off right off the bat with comic book art, right?
Yes. I
And
think.
and I have a note about it.
It's so
It's
good.
pr-
Don't get used to it.
It's probably more about the toy design than the comic art. But why the fuck does that bone hunter still use the shoulder piece for hands when this was the year that introduced the fist pieces?
Yeah,
Well.
that's a thing.
You
I
see,
thought it was a case of comic art being drawn before the piece was molded and the set was made. But no, the set actually is like that.
yeah. No,
He's the only figure from 2009 that they don't have all hands.
this
was he
is correct, accurate. Yes,
Was he the first one designed?
He's
probably
just
not.
special. He's different.
What?
Leave him alone.
I would have thought that the one they would start with would have been the yellow set from the next wave, but I guess not.
Oh well. Regardless, anyway, so we're introduced to Barracks. He's hunting for armor and stuff so that he can one day fight in the arena like his idols, the Glatorian.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Because the Gori are known for fighting in the arena.
He wants to
some
be the
of them.
first. Someone has to be the first.
some of them
This
do
is
fight
the
on,
Rosa
vehicles.
Parks of Bonk, okay?
I think it's more like Rudy, but okay.
Yeah.
It
Anyway,
could
so
be
yes.
both. He's like the Rudy Parks of Bunk.
So anyway, Pharaoh the Bone Hunter attacks. Gresh and Tarax and Strakk just happen to be in the area and rescue him. Neat. And then they get assailed by a pack of Voroks, led by Malum of all people. And Malum's like,
It turns out he's the king of the desert monsters.
yeah. So
I
Malum used to be a
realize now that
Glatorian.
This comic arc, this pretty much sums up the entirety of what we read. These three Glatorian, Malum, the Bone Hunters, and later the Skrull. They fight, they run off, they fight, they run off, they fight, they run off.
Yeah,
There's
happens a
a lot
lot.
of that.
I have an issue with this comic art.
Mm-hmm.
So all the comic artists, they're quite different, and they all have something specific, unique to them. Like Carlos de Anda, all of his artwork is very battle damaged. It goes beyond the extent. The poses extend beyond the confines of the set. This individual here, Popmon, who is the new artist that quick replaced Lee Gallagher.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell what he does. He poses the sets and then he draws them. He draws the poses.
Yes.
And
Isn't
that's
very toy
necessarily a
accurate.
bad thing, except I'm guessing it is because you're complaining about it.
It's not always a bad thing because we've seen this in the past. We've had son of a biscuit. Who's that guy's name? The 04 artist. Who's him?
Oh,
Randy Elliott?
you know what?
No.
Might
Yes?
be yes. Right, yeah.
Randy Elliott? Possibly. Okay. He does that, and that's whatever. That's fine. The only problem that this approach will have is if you're just terrible bad at posing.
Yeah.
If you look, like, first, for starters, Gresh's arms are backwards.
Oh
I
God!
didn't even notice that.
They
Oh,
are
God!
entirely backward. And trust me,
mean,
I
to be
know how
fair,
this
a
set
lot
is
of the
supposed to be
CG
properly
renders
built.
To be fair,
I can-
a lot of the CG renders from this year are just as bad with that shit.
Yeah, it's awful. It's terrible. But I
At the
can,
very least, to be fair, it's better than the early readers book that was part of this.
I
In
actually
some
do
ways,
not
yes.
own any of the early readers' books.
I mean,
Well,
we'll be
let's
getting to
just
one
say
of them
there's
later.
a reason we now have a barracks emote on the server.
I gotta check this out. Time to go see this.
So anyway, yes.
Oh dear goodness.
Eventually, the group do drive off the Voroks, and they arrive at their destination, which is Volcanus, a location we'll be returning to a lot over the course of this book. while they're there, we overhear Ranu and Metis discussing getting some new recruits in the arena, because apparently there aren't so many Glatorian that are willing to fight anymore.
Yeah,
that could be a problem for their Glatorian system as it is.
Because someone tried to kill someone, and they were like, "Oh, that sucks."
So yeah,
Why
the Glatorian
would anyone
system.
try to kill someone during fighting?
So the way the Glatorian system works is, whenever two villages have a dispute, instead of going to all-out war between them, they send their best fighter each into an arena. They fight it out. Whoever wins whatever the villages are fighting over, basically. And this system has perpetuated for many tens of thousands of years at this point.
And I would like to point out, so we were saying how a few of us had noticed that a lot of the names in this are based on Latin.
Yes.
So actually, back in those days, one of the things when two countries went to war is a lot of battles would be settled by, instead of having this huge costly battle with thousands of men dying and it just often wasn't worth it. They would send out two people to fight, and the winner would be the representative who won would be the decider of the battle.
All right,
how about
so
that?
for the 8-year-olds in our audience, what he just described was called gladiators. The more you know.
No, this was actually on battlefields. Like, the two armies would gather, the two representatives would be chosen and sent out to fight in between, and then just both the armies would watch.
And then eventually they built a big round structure around them, and were like, "Hey."
No, that was just because everyone liked watching people fucking die. That was purely for fun.
Wait a minute. So gladiators actually did kill each other, but Malum almost killed Strakk, and everyone's all like loses their shit.
Yeah.
Even though. Okay,
I mean,
I'm
in Glatorian society, there's only one woman. They can't have new babies very often.
Well, Strack's not a woman.
They can't afford to kill people.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to type that. I'm going to put it right now. Strack's trans.
Okay.
I'm going
I'll
to put
buy
it on
that.
Twitter right now. Liam, I'm not going to put it on Bionicles. Don't bitch at me. I know. I see you bitching. I see you raising your bitch hand.
So, anyway, Gresh has a fight against a Skrull in the arena. Gresh ends up losing because no one's ever beaten a Skrull, apparently. Which makes me question...
Apparently no one's ever beaten a Skrull one-on-one combat, but throughout this whole book, they're getting dunked on constantly.
Yeah.
I guess they're just really effective at one-on-one combat, but then there's a conservation of ninjutsu going on.
I relate to that. In games, I'm really good at 1v1s, but you put me on a team and I'm done.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know what?
I
Yeah,
understand.
that makes sense.
I'm a Skrull. No.
Yeah, teamwork and being effective by yourself they use different parts of the brain, and that includes robot brains, or cyborg brains, or what I completely zoned out during our conversation about how robotic the Gladiatorians were.
The specification, so they are 85% organic and 15% mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
Their bone structure is metallic, however, they are mammalian.
There we go.
So
yeah.
Meat, flesh, brain.
Neat. So, then we move on to chapter 1.5 in this version of the book, which is, as Liam described earlier, the My Lego Network campaign turned into a book. So this was basically, have you ever played like one of those Facebook games? It's like that, but for Bionicle. And so it's just like you farm resources, you give them to people, and then you get a bit of dialogue, and you move on to the next one. And there's an awful lot of that going on. Basically, all it amounts to is, hey, we got 3 Glatorian in the same place. And that's it.
6.
Was it 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. They got some...
One from each village.
Well, that would still only be 5.
No, they got the scroll, too. And the Lorax.
No, they didn't get the Lorax.
I zoned out because I guess I can't tweet and be hilarious at the same time. This sounds like where this quote comes in. Good Glatorian don't just spring from the sand. Levi, you'll know why that's funny next year.
In all fairness,
next week.
That is not entirely fact incorrect.
Oh dear God. He's still doing it.
But yeah,
Okay, if you carry on, I am going to death kill you.
I am struggle trying here, alright? I was
kill
dare
you!
challenged. I was
kill
dare
you to
challenged.
death!
And I am a Liwa of my word.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I've ruined the podcast indirectly for once.
so
I'll be leave gone in 30 minutes.
Now
I
do
swear.
the entire rest of the podcast in both tree speak and pig Latin.
Oh no.
no.
Ship all of your Lego sets to me.
I don't knowledge no pig Latin, and that's a lot of sets. I cannot. That's too many boxes.
How about
For a split second, I thought he said, "Oh God, that's a lot of sex."
I mean, we are on Bar Magna now.
Mail all your sex to me. Mail all your sex to me.
I am Liwa. This is non-canon.
So anyway, to clear up the confusion about the Lorax, what happened is the hero Gory did acquire the Lorax's trust. He did not acquire the Lorax's seal of approval for helping out defend against the raid on Volcanus. Yeah. But yeah, basically he gathers a bunch of Glatorian that are going to help protect Volcanus from a raid that's going to happen. Cool. Then we go to... Oh, right, yes. Now we get into a book called The Crossing, which was originally only ever released in Polish, for some inane reason. This was written by Greg in English, then translated to Polish, and released as a book, and then retranslated by fans back into English. So that's
Twice.
why this... Yeah, twice, actually, yeah. Which is why
Turn my ass to
this
glass
doesn't
and then turn back
entirely
to
flow.
ass.
Yeah. It doesn't entirely flow well, but it's mostly readable for the most part.
Honestly, I didn't notice. So
I noticed immediately.
What
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Strakk and Co. protecting the caravan, that story.
Wait,
So
that
there
was
are-
that whole thing was the
That whole
was
thing.
that a novel that was released?
No,
Yeah.
it was 6
That was a
chapters.
whole novel.
Well, yeah, it was
Oh,
released in
like-
chapter form in like magazines.
Well,
or something.
then that
Yeah.
explains that explains all these notes I have that are typos. All right.
Yeah, no. So there are 2 fun facts about the crossing. The first is that there's only one portion of this book novel that is in proper English, written by Greg from the original writing.
I assume that's
That.
the only bit in what we've read today that didn't have typos in it.
That would be from Matanui's Guide to Bar Magna. There's a snippet in there from Greg's original transcript.
Mm-hmm.
2, these 6 chapters are the only canon depiction and appearance, maybe outside of the LEGO Network Bionicle campaign, of the village of Iconox.
Wow.
Wait, really?
Yes, it appears
They never appear
nowhere
again?
else.
Huh.
It is only my LEGO Network, if you consider that, if you count it, and The Crossing. The Crossing was actually its first appearance.
Huh.
Well, how about that?
Mm-hmm.
So is the word gun not canon then? Because
I don't think it is.
In page 1633 of the PDF file, I don't know what the page of the book number was, the word gun is said for the first time, and I was surprised, and now that I find out this is a fan translation of a thing from another language, I guess the word gun isn't canon then.
I would not consider gun canon to any Bionicle vernacular.
I just thought it was interesting because the character who mentioned their gun was what's his face, Telorus.
It's hilarious. It pointed the gun at a car.
I like the idea that everyone else has fucking fruit launchers and slingshots.
He just has a gun.
And he just has a normal ass gun that shoots fucking bullets.
It is pretty funny.
I would definitely not consider this canon because it's Lego.
I consider it headcanon.
I mean, if he did just have a normal gun, that would explain.
It's Tellerus.
I like the idea that the Iron Tribe just had normal ass guns.
That's the real reason everyone else didn't like them. It's like, darn them and their technological advancement.
Darn them and their instant kill button.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean, that would go some way to
we just have very ineffective exploding fruit launchers. They got these things that shoot you to death.
I would certainly suspect that is just part of the fan translation.
They use metal ingots as more effective weapons in this book than the exploding fruit launchers.
Yeah.
The exploding fruit launchers are useful weapons, but them ingots. Them ingots,
though.
like they knock people out with them. They destroy tanks with them,
and they're very, very valuable.
They got a lot of people hurt.
Why even bother making fucking weapons out of them? Just use the ingots.
And why do they make soup from them?
No.
The
Thornax fruit and the ingots are different things. Ingots are like gold bar, like metal bars.
Yummy drink fruit soup.
Yeah.
Dang
So they make fruit. So the Thornax that they shoot are literally exploding fruit. They're based on an actual fruit that exists, that explodes apparently. But also, in addition to using it as ammunition, they also use it as currency and also apparently eat it.
Yeah.
Based on real fruit?
Yeah, it's based on real fruit. I'll tweet it again. I'll retweet it again. Hold on.
Please.
Stream 2.0?
Yeah. I'll retweet it again. Thornax at Legend of Modern. I think it was something 41 Strange tweeted.
Well, anyway, while you're finding that, let's talk about the crossing itself. So, Strakk gets contracted by someone in... it's Metis. He gets contracted by Metis to protect a caravan full of Obsidian on its way to Volcanus.
Big asshole talks to big asshole.
Yes.
You'll recognize real.
So, Volcanus and Iconox had a Glatorian match. Iconox lost, so they have to pay a big lump of Obsidian to Volcanus. And this is the story of them getting that payment over there, which is exceedingly dangerous for some reason. I'm not entirely sure how these people get from place to place so easy later on.
It's probably easier to transport when you're not carrying heavy cargo.
I suppose.
Like maybe spigots and sandstalkers can move really, really fast when they're not carrying like a ton of metal, of loose metal.
I suppose so.
Was it 1 ton or multiple tons?
I don't think they ever said, but
I know
it's a lot.
I know they said at least 1 ton, but I don't remember if it was a ton with an S or... This is stupid. This is stupid. Why am I digressing like this?
So,
this is fascinating. Sandbox tree.
Yep.
There we go. Strakk basically only agrees to this if they'll pay him a lot, because that's what Strakk is. He's the money guy. He really likes money.
I think I forgot to write this in my notes, but I remember it with my mind, that he says, apparently that it says that he won't even get out of bed unless it will benefit him. That's stupid.
No, he won't even open his eyes if it will benefit him. How does that not benefit you? You can see.
It's very helpful to see. Imagine if you were like in anywhere.
Yeah, but does seeing get him money?
Technically, one leads to the other.
Well, see if there's a big. Well, see.
Do you think Strakk is smart enough to figure out that connection, though?
If there's a big pile of money on one corner of the room and scorpions in the other, how are you gonna know where to walk to if you have your eyes closed?
Listen for the crunch.
Mate.
He's basically Mr. Krabs.
Yes.
Strakk is our de facto money greedy character.
Absolutely.
To an extreme extent.
Yep. And just like Mr. Krabs, he actually seems to have a personality outside of being a greedy asshole, but he's still an asshole. He's a likable asshole, but he's an asshole. He's like Liam, kinda.
Yeah, his personality outside of being a greedy asshole is being an asshole.
Well,
He's Tony Stark.
That and he really
Before
seems to
Iron
respect. That and he seems to really respect Malum, even though he killed him
That's true. Yeah.
or tried to,
And
and continues to try to.
But yeah, Strakk and Tarduk and some other guys I forget.
Another character named Turducken.
Yes, another one. Not at all related to Top Duck.
Greg really likes Turduckens.
Yeah, they even make a joke about Tarduk's name in one of the later books.
Of course I do.
But
Wait a minute. So this is the year that Greg comes up with all the shit,
pretty much.
and he makes fun of him. Well,
What do you mean?
maybe Lego came out with the set names.
Because keep in mind, I asked him this when I had him on my show. He was never the story team lead, and nor was he ever in a position of leadership. So when it comes to names or story decisions, big story decisions, those are still team-based.
So is Tarduk a name that was thrust upon him and he chose to make fun of it, or was it just a name that he felt really stupid about later on, but it was already too late to change it, so he made fun of himself?
No idea, Clue. I only know about those few select instances like Gresh, Pterodax, and Kina.
Okay. But yeah, so they're trying to transport this Exidian across the desert to Volcanus, and they're going to take a real roundabout way because slap bang in the middle of Equinox and Volcanus is the sea of liquid sand, and they really don't want to cross that.
They also really don't want to call it quicksand.
No, they really don't want to call it quicksand, because it is technically distinct from quicksand.
Even though they say the word quicksand in a later chapter.
Yes.
Oh, they do? I didn't notice. Shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite work like quicksand. In that it is more watery in consistency. You will pretty much just sink straight through it.
I googled Mr. Krabs to Photoshop Strack's head onto him, and googling Mr. Krabs not a good idea anymore.
No, never Google Mr. Krabs. That was never a good idea.
That was never a good idea, but especially not after the Bussy meme.
I don't know that meme, and I don't want to.
Good.
Ditto.
So, let's see, where were we up to? So they're just sort of wandering around, going across the desert, I guess, and they get preyed upon by dune snakes, which slither through the sand, and they snap at you, I guess, and then Strakk falls into the quicksand, liquid sand stuff.
And and then Gresh saves him because it's the right thing to do. And then Strakk is all like, "Why would you do that?" And then Gresh is all like, "Man, you know what I'm about. Fuck you."
Yeah, Gresh is the only good boy.
I'm a good guy, and you're like not a good guy. So
I remember next to nothing about Gresh's character from the movie, but I really like Gresh now.
Well,
I really like Gresh.
In order to thought remember Gresh from the movie, he would need to be, heavily in the movie.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh god, Josie, I just saw the fruit that you linked. 150 miles an hour.
What?
It's literally referred to as shrapnel.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess you could say that it's dynamite.
Yep, the Thornax fruit are based on a real thing, and they are pretty much bombs.
They're spooky.
You learn something new every day.
Yep.
There we go. So yeah, Gresh leaps over the liquid sand on his sand stalker, I think is what it's called.
Yep.
It's a horse, basically.
I missed that it was a horse and I just thought he kept talking about a stalker that was stalking him. And it was
I've just been imagining all of these as Jurgen too.
It was especially confusing because he kept talking like he knew someone was following him, so I kept thinking, why did he keep mentioning the guy is following him? Like, what? And then I realized, oh, horse.
I another fun fact about the Sandstalkers. Did you guys know that they actually have a lot of restraining orders against them?
Da 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 da.
I regret having you on this show.
I don't.
Honestly,
because-
Liam, don't forget that this is your fault.
I apologize.
You're
Sorry,
not
that
free
I just,
to go in this.
I could
LJ
not help myself.
LJ could come onto this podcast and bitch us out for 4 hours, and it would be great because we could put his name in the podcast and we get more attention. Yes, Chip, put his name as put the name of the podcast as Eljay Johnson guest stars on Gathered Friends with Eljay Johnson. We'll get like twice as many views, so we'll get
Also-
If
two
we mention
views.
his name twice, we'll get twice as many
Hash-
views.
Hell yeah.
Hashtag TTV is over party. Don't forget that.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah. Hashtag TTV is over party. I'll tweet it right now.
All right.
So Bara Magna has 3 kinds of horse. There's Sandstalkers, which all the good guys use. There's Rock Steeds, which all the bad guys use. And there's Spigots, which have 2 heads.
I never thought about it that way. I'll be honest.
So does that mean that they have 4 heads?
It means that they're literally two-faced. They'll work for anyone.
Okay, so if they have
Oh no,
Sandstalkers,
they're they're 2-headed and they're 4-faced because their heads have 2 faces on them.
What?
What?
Only in the sets, though, not in canon.
Levi, you know how we said that guy you like? He basically just uses the head of the spigot. He uses it rotated around. It's double-sided so that it can be reused.
That's disgusting.
Well, yeah. Do they do that more often in this, or is this the only instance?
There's also a couple of the helmet pieces are double-sided.
Yeah, cool. Atticus, the Earthagori, has a very interesting looking top of his head. I would have picked that figure up if I'd known that the top side of his helmet was cool looking. I was very uninterested in the Skrull toys.
Yeah, I mean,
In retrospect, that shield was neat.
yeah, it was. But anyway, so speaking of Skrull, the gang are taking a path through the Black Spike Mountains, which is kind of Skrull territory, kind of not. Like the Skrull are originally from north of the Black Spike Mountains, but now they're coming down through them and invading other villages. Yeah.
Apparently, there was some guy who was real angry and mean, huh?
Yeah, something chased them down from their original home. I guess we'll find out about that later. I think at some point Strakk says, "Oh, the Black Spike Mountains, even Skrull don't come here," and then immediately Skrull.
Which is awfully unusual because Roxas is in the Black Spike Mountains.
Yeah. Strakk, what are you on about?
I don't know why they would say that. It's weird.
Yeah. But anyway, so then, here's Malum again, with his Vorox again. Here he is again. and that's that. He just leaves again, I guess.
He likes showing up and leaving because he wants to be real ominous and scare people.
He just wants to remind people that he's there.
Yeah, because otherwise they'll forget. Even though,
I wouldn't blame him.
Even though, like at the end of the chapters we read today, we find out his backstory, and we find out that when he was first exiled, everyone was all like, "Oh, we're gonna keep." Basically, after he was exiled, everyone thought about him constantly, and they didn't even know. And they didn't even know that he was the king of the desert people.
I like how when he becomes king of the desert people, he's like, you know what? I like this isolationist lifestyle out in the in the desert. And then for the rest of the book, he's just constantly bothering people like, hey, remember, I'm still here? Hey, it's me.
I don't know. I think Malum was always the coolest of the creatures.
He was pretty cool.
He's a big boy.
Oh yeah, at some point they say that the Glatorian, the wagon that they're pulling along, it has wheels. That's something that doesn't happen in the old universe.
Yeah.
That's new.
Which makes even less sense given they're in a fucking desert. Wheels would be less effective here.
Yep. Well, they
of all
weren't
the
always-
places for this technology to have developed.
They weren't always in a desert. The technology probably developed before the shattering. Did they mention that? And then
They
bring that up?
vaguely mention it, yeah.
Yeah. So the wheels were probably developed pre-shattering, and then technology never really progressed after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of the tech that they use in the current present story is old.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that is a
that was explained away in a very weird way later on. It's that because of all their hardships on Bar Magna, the Agori have lost the mental capacity to create new things.
Yeah, most of them.
Did they seriously say that?
Yes.
most
Wait,
of them.
why is this Dragon Quest Builders?
Yeah, most of them seem pretty.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, most of them seem pretty stupid. What is this? The Lego Movie?
I guess so.
No. Yeah, no, it's essentially what happened is all of their smart guys, all the scientists, are no longer current present. They're gone. So
Yeah.
the average IQ of everyone dropped.
Yep. Only in the times of the apocalypse, only the stupid survive.
And if that's a lesson you can take home, there you go. But anyway, so they get into a little entanglement with the Skrull. They accidentally cause an avalanche, which almost kills them, and the Skrull are like, well, I guess they're dead, and just... At some point, the Skrull took their weapons, and then after they think that they're dead, the Skrull just throw their weapons down on the ground. Like, not going to take these back to the Skrull village or anything.
Well, see, if they just showed up... See, their plan is to not let anyone know that they fucked up and attempt to steal metal from people.
That's true. Yeah.
They don't want anyone to know, and if they just show up with some extra guns, there will be questions, and they're like, we just found these. And if no one's going to believe Barracks just finds stuff, no one's going to believe a Skrull just finds stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, the guys do get buried. Eventually they wake up, like, halfway down the mountain, and Strakk's like, oh, where am I? Is this heaven? And the other's like, no, you idiot, you're just in a cave.
But he doesn't specifically say heaven.
No, he says, like,
The place where good souls go.
yeah, that.
Which souls confirmed.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out where that is in a couple years.
Yeah, yeah.
Spherus Ghoster.
I mean, you're not terribly far from the truth.
Closer to the truth now.
But no, they did end up...
Take me home.
They ended up getting squished into a cave by all the rocks that fell on them. And it turns out this cave is a place where the Great Beings did stuff. And there's all sorts of writings on the wall and things that you can't understand because you're a poopy little Agori.
It says that these letters are round.
Whoa, round letters.
And have various lines and dots inside them.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I hate lines and dots.
Emoji. Faking emoji.
Lines and dots killed my family.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's
anyway.
when one of the Agori thinks it has something to do with the Great Beings, that's exactly what the others say. They're all like, lines and dots killed my family. I don't want to speak about it.
Yeah, nobody seems to like the Great Beings around here.
Seemingly one of Ranu's friends in the Coliseum later, but in the flashback.
Yeah.
Because he says, thank the Great Beings, the thing didn't happen.
Huh. I didn't catch that, but okay.
It was one of the comic books. You probably zoned out.
Fair enough. But anyway, yeah, they run across some beetles and bats in the cave, and then something.
And then they're like, bats aren't cave.
Yeah, bats don't live in the cave.
Bats don't live in caves.
There must be another way in here.
Neither do scarabacks beetles, but we're not going to question that.
Speaking of the beetles, they turn into a tornado and kill the bat. They just eat it.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing beetles can totally do.
Yeah.
Clearly, you've never seen a beetle before.
I suppose. I've never seen 1,000 beetles in one place before. I'll give you that.
I've only seen 4, and 2 of them are dead, and one of them doesn't wear shoes.
Listen, if one mosquito can cause so much annoyance, then 1,000 beetles... I can see that being pretty spooky.
So do I get the world record for the most obscure way to refer to the beetles in the world ever?
It's very obscure. I didn't even hear it.
I only know 4 of them. 2 of them are dead, and 1 doesn't wear shoes.
What?
I think that was the most obscure reference anyone has ever made to the Beatles.
I don't know what... Yeah. I mean, I get
the
it,
Beatles.
I'm awfully direction lost right now.
Yeah, the band.
I'm confused about the shoes.
Paul McCartney wasn't wearing shoes on the Abbey Road cover.
Oh, okay.
Everyone thinks he's dead now.
Today I knowledge learned.
Yeah, so maybe 3 of the Beatles are dead.
Maybe. We will never know.
What if we're dead?
What if we are dead?
What if we're the Beatles?
What if we were never alive to begin with?
Oh, big mood.
So anyway.
Strakk is such a dickhead. Why didn't they just send Jello to deliver the medal?
Jello?
Yeah, the one who lost, and that's the reason they're teleporting the medal.
Oh,
Transport him.
Yeah, Gelu. Well, I guess they want to keep him around because he's important.
Oh my gosh. Jello.
Yep.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I like
They're sending Strakk to do it because Strack's disposable.
I actually put page notes on my notes that were typos.
Anyway, so, so they're trying to get out of this cave, and they end up by what looks like a door. But, oh no, the walls are closing in around them. It's just like that trash compactor scene from Star Wars.
That old trope.
Yeah.
They push a button, and then they push a different button, and then it happens slower.
Yeah. And then eventually
this circle was blank, and even though we don't know what any of these other letters are, we'll assume that this is an O because it's blank.
Yeah. This one looks like an English letter O. I bet it means the English word open.
Surprisingly, that logic didn't end up biting them in the mask. Are we still using that?
Yeah, I mean,
they're helmets now.
They're helmets, but also sometimes they're masks.
Yeah,
One time.
But anyway, whatever the case, it did end up opening the door, and they get out. So, neat.
Turns out that bat...
Not without, almost crushing them to death.
Well,
they're fine. They're fine.
The open button did open the door.
Yeah.
The open button.
The open button. This is a weird ass cave. There's a kill us button and an open button, but not a not kill us button.
I mean, there probably was a not kill us button. They just didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, they can't read.
It was the open button.
Obviously. But anyway, no sooner are they out the door than freaking Pharaoh, the Bone Hunter, lands at their feet all bloodied and messed up. Thanks to Malum and his Vorox.
Yeah, the one with the fake hands.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Malum and his Vorox, I forget if they actually killed him or just, incapacitated him. But, yeah, he's there.
I think they incapacitated him because Bone Hunters are apparently very strong for being tiny boys.
Okay.
I suppose.
I'm an idiot fool. So...
I agree.
Thank you. There is... I want to make a correction from earlier. Because I failed to consider something. Pharaoh is not the only set with those hands.
Oh, fuck!
Who else?
Malum. Fudge! Dang
right, Malum.
Malum?
Well, in Malum's case, he has the big claws, so I can understand why they did it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can understand why as well. But to be nitpicky, Malum also has those hand pieces too.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I was looking at Malum's set and he didn't have the...
No, he does.
Just before we get called out in the comments, actually...
Yeah.
I could have sworn he had gray fists, but he has gray shoulder hands that hold on that hold on to claws. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of my favorite looking of the Glatorian, and I've been staring at it for years because I never had the opportunity to buy this for reasons.
Malum is super cool. Honestly, I could go on a tangent about 09 as a whole, specifically the first half, because I remember being there when the leaks came out.
Same.
For the sets and the story, was really big.
I was annoyed by the leaks because there's too much change.
I mean, essentially, that's what it boiled
culture.
down to. That's exactly what it boiled down to, because it was a drastic change. And actually, I apologize for this, but this is where I must depart. If I may depart with a slight anecdote, a story. And I'll drop the tree speak to just make this easy.
You will keep up the tree speak even while you're at your job.
I will.
You have.
I think they might burn fire me for that one.
911 tree speak.
911. What's your scare emergency?
Is the job a secret, or can we make jokes about it? I thought it was a secret.
I haven't made it. I don't think it's a secret. I haven't talked about it publicly yet, but it's
all right. Cool.
It's cool. Yeah. I don't want to burden y'all with more work.
911. This is 911. Where the mask is coming from in the side that I can't think of a joke. I'm sorry.
You're going to get people calling in just to talk to you now. You're going to get fan letters through 911.
Oh my god.
LJ, just get to your anecdote, please.
No, do a
All right,
voice.
so anecdote.
Do a deep voice. Do a deep voice when you answer calls. No one will notice. Everyone's so used to your voice being high pitched.
Josie, stop.
I'll just do it in the Lee movie voice. So I remember being around when the 09 stuff was coming out, and Greg was saying, all right, so we're going to this gladiator system. It's villages instead of Koros, so we're no longer doing that. Air, gone. Rock, or stone, gone. It's rock now, and it's sand now. Earth, gone. And there were these drastic changes, and the sets were coming out, and the green ones, which are always my favorite, looked evil with the red eyes and the spikes and the horns, and everything just looked really confusing, and it wasn't clear who was good and who was bad, and it was just very jarring, especially since we were leaving the Matoran universe, and it was all going away, and I will profess here, I hated 2009 more than I hated Hero Factory when it was first coming out.
Oof.
Right after Bionicle ended and HF became a thing. No, it paled in comparison to how much I disliked 2009. But full disclosure, 2009 is one of my favorite years, which is sad, because it was not handled as well as I would have liked it to have been. I think that the first half of 2009 was rich with potential. There were a lot of things that were interesting, a lot of avenues they could have traveled down that would have been fascinating to explore. I know Greg was super excited because they had an entire planet they could play around with instead of just an island, which was obviously a lot smaller than a planet. And so
they're on a different planet now.
Huh?
Oh, that crushes my headcanon.
Fun fact, Spherus Magna confirmed not flat. It is, in fact, Spherus.
It's called Spherus.
Yeah, that's what Greg said. It's like, well, it's a planet called Spherus, right?
It's because the planet was just called Great Ball because we just called our planet Dirt because it's what we walk on.
The planet's fairly baller.
So to them, they only had one planet, so they called it. So they called it Great. So they called it Great Ball. And
that's completely crushed my expectations.
And then it became three different planets. So they called it Shit Planet, Dumb Planet, and Wet Planet.
but yeah, so I think I honestly believe that 2009 had a lot of potential. I thought that it was interesting to see the new system. It was interesting to see more morally ambiguous characters in the sense of Malum, Strakk, not necessarily barracks, but a system not necessarily built on any black and white good versus evil, but more of we're just trying to live here. And I thought that was interesting. I thought that was rich, full of potential, and I honestly think that the first half of 2009 is reasonably strong. I enjoy it for the freshness of it. I wanted it to continue like that. And the sets, I think, al dente for some of them. I think that a lot of them are actually...
Except for the canister sets, because it's just more fucking Anika build.
Well, they played with the Anika build. Like, they played with it, the Vorax, with Strakk, with Skrull. They were playing with it. They were experimenting.
They're all fairly... They're all fairly... They're all fairly unique for being straightforward humanoids.
They have... To me, I always find myself looking at them and getting a similar feeling to the Toamata, in the sense that they are clone sets, technically, but they all have a different feeling to them, a different aura. You get a slightly different experience with their build.
More than half of us just found out Malum has fucking claw hands.
And I totally forgot about that. And so I think that I like, most importantly, and I've said this other places, 2001 to me will always be my favorite year, and to me one of the best, because the sets tell the story very well. They have a visual hierarchy. You have the Toa, you have the Turaga, and then you have the Matoran. And it's very visually conveyed well. And I think 2009 is the only other year that does it as well as 01. Almost as well as 01. Not quite as well. But it's almost there, because you have that hierarchy. You have these villages. You have these groups of characters and sets that you put them in one place, and you see they make a unit. They make a cohesive group that you can visually look at, and it tells this kind of... this story in how they're supposed to interact with each other. It's not foolproof. It's obviously not a solid system in the case of Akar and Malum.
Yeah.
But it exists. And I like that, and it's a very colorful year. We got away from the blay and the gray. And
Yes.
I walk away feeling positively about 09. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I just like that al dente, because it's, as far as I understand it, you basically just went, crunchy.
I like crunchy peanut butter, so.
Yeah, Bionicle is peanut butter.
Well, there we are. Thanks very much for coming on the show, LJ. I understand you got places to be.
Yeah,
So
thank you
we'll
for
keep you on
inviting me.
your
I appreciate it, and I apologize for not being able to stick it out.
Have fun
right.
bringing your Liwa-ness to a whole other level.
Don't fuck up your job here.
I'll being
traumatized for a living.
I'll answer calls with Liwa movie voice.
Just remember,
Emergency,
one fuck up and they'll die.
When you are with me, I am a Toa hero who saves you from whoever needs saving from.
Don't worry, Levi. Half of the people that LJ talks to will definitively die.
At least half, yeah.
All of the people I will talk to will die.
Did you know that everyone who drinks water has died?
See? Right.
It's a
that
disgusting
is factually
epidemic
correct.
that's being hidden from the entire public.
Someone's got to do something about this dihydrogen monoxide problem. Statistically, 110% of people will die.
Disgusting. I am disgusted. You know what? All because of the water tribe. I know it is.
Ugh. It's that damn water tribe.
Anyway, again, thank y'all so much for inviting me, and I do apologize for not being able to be here for the full thing. But
all right,
have fun.
Be sure to pick up ice cream on your way home. You'll need it.
I will try. So I mean, I'll need it if I get burn fired.
or if you get a call and someone's murdering themselves.
Idaho statistically has a very... Okay, anyway, thank y'all so much. Enjoy.
Right.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
And you as well.
You too.
Okay, time for me to do a fusion dance with one of my friends then.
Yep. LJ's not... Oh, fuck. I was going to say before LJ left. Okay, LJ's not here. Let's talk about a Minus
How fusion dances work. You watch Dragon Ball Z. How do you do a fusion dance? Fusion, There, now we're...
No, you have to... No, you have to do... You have to do a very specific, coordinated dance. You both need to do it identically, and if you fuck up even a little, then you turn really fat. Yep. It's not like Steven Universe where you can just do whatever, and if you like each other real much, you become one person.
Okay, Curtis, draw us as a spigot modeled after Majin Buu.
I mean, I'm not talking about Majin Buu, but...
I get what the intent is.
Yeah. Sure, Chip. I'll send you some images of failed attempts at Gotenks.
Oh, I've seen them.
Do spigots have omnidirectional smell? Like, do they have They've got two noses, so surely it's like with two eyes you can focus better. Maybe
they have
can
two
they
heads
locate
and
your
both,
position?
They have two heads and both heads have two faces, so yeah, probably.
Oh, it's even more powerful.
They can smell everything.
Anyway,
They have
so
depth
Liam.
perception in their scent.
Anyway, so Liam happens to have a guy. Liam happens to have a guy in him.
Yeah.
So we see.
Who is that?
We secretly have two guests in this podcast. One
it's
is
just my random fat asshole friend from Welland.
Wow. Yep. One of our guests is Eljay fucking Johnson, the greatest human being alive, and the other is just some guy.
I don't know, that reputation has been tarnished tonight.
I never.
I mean, that dude's just going. That dude's just smiling and going and shrugging along optimistically into one of the most traumatizing jobs you can do as a human being. You gotta admire that optimism. He is going to be just as broken as his favorite Bionicle character by the end of his job.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. So
that's
back
why
to the book,
I felt weird about making Lewa jokes, because Lewa gets traumatized so much.
That's a good song.
And he's not even done. It's like the second Lewa shows back up into the story, it's all gonna get fucked again.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know that now.
Speaking of the story, so we get back to it into a little flashback. This is about, it's about Malum and his whole thing. And so it starts off with the Skrull. So the Skrull have been forced south out of their original home by some, quote, silent lethal shapeshifters, end quote. We'll find out more about them later, but that is exactly what they are. They are shapeshifters that kill you. And there we go. Apparently they killed all of Tuma's class of Skrull, Tuma being the leader of the Skrull, and apparently there were more of him, and now there aren't.
Yep. And apparently there are Skrull women's, but we don't know anything about them.
And we never will.
Well, they do show up.
We do know. Apparently the Skrull women aren't here.
Yeah.
They aren't here.
They are somewhere, but they're not here.
We know about them. We'll know about them. We'll find out about them, but we'll basically just find out what their deal is, and then not much, because they don't want anything to do with this fucking toxic masculinity bullshit.
Yeah, we're pretty much going to find out they exist and nothing else.
Yeah, they exist.
Well, that's why I brought it up earlier. It's like the Sisters of the Skrull are a thing. That's literally all we know about them. Yep. They're a thing.
Yeah.
They exist, and they don't want any of this. They don't want to do with any of this men and their bullshit.
Yeah. But anyway, so the Skrull and Tuma, they have found out about a Bone Hunter raid that will be going on Volcanus, and or I think actually Tuma wants to sort of organize it, sort of slip in a word with the Bone Hunters, get them to do a raid on Volcanus. I don't know why, but that's what sets up the whole raid that will be happening later on. Tuma also tells one of his Skrull warriors to go and get Malum and bring him back to them, alive specifically. And we find out later that that's because Malum is the king of the beasties, and Tuma wants that in his army. So that's cool. And then, I might as well stick with the flashback for now, and then we'll get back to the main story later. The Skrull do end up ambushing Malum, and they knock him out with some rubble. They haul him back to the Skrull village. And Tuma's like, hey, you get the Vorks to do what I say. And Malum's like, no. And Tuma's like, but what if you did? And Malum's like, yes. But then he realizes how stupid this all is, and just breaks out of there pretty much no sweat. The Vorks just aren't having any of that shit, and they break out. And that's it.
Yeah.
Riveting.
Yeah, it
just went by really quickly. It was inoffensive.
It was certainly more interesting to read about than to hear about.
Yeah, I didn't exactly do it justice, but that is pretty much it.
We keep bitching about Greg's writing, but he definitely did a good job making that interesting.
I did actually like this particular chapter quite a bit because of the whole scene with him in the cell and is it Vorox, I think.
Yeah.
Explaining how, like, because we did get told earlier in the book that they did used to be a semi-sentient species, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were smart boys to some extent. And now they've just spent so long just surviving in this desert that they cannot stand being in one room.
Mm-hmm.
I quite liked it.
Yeah.
His, like, empathy with them.
Yeah,
It was the one bit of characterization that we get for
like, I never
a
expected
character.
I would like the Vorox so much as characters. I only wanted a Vorox to because the most important character in 2009 cuts one of their tails off and uses it as a sword, and I didn't have that, and I didn't have a Vorox, so I had to find a different set to take that piece from.
Neat.
I almost said who it was, and I don't want to reveal that yet.
Okay. So
what the
anyway.
fuck is this? I checked Twitter and this has happened.
Oh no.
No, it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it does.
It does, but wow.
That's somehow the most sensical thing I've ever seen.
Curtis, put that
I do
up.
not understand why is Worf in front and center.
Because
there'll be a reason. Let's not say it now, but
we'll find out next week why Worf is front and center.
Klingons canon?
We'll find
Almost.
out. We'll find out. Worf is canon, yes.
Yeah.
He's very canon, in fact.
Why is Dr. Nefarious in this?
Why is Waldorf Sockdorf?
Johnny Test.
Oh, Johnny Test is in there because he has the same voice actor as Barry Allen.
Oh.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Barrack,
we mentioned that earlier.
fucking James Arnold Taylor voices Barracks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why Robotnik's in there. I don't think his voice actor was in the movie.
Mike
I
Pollock?
thought his... No, I was thinking of Dean Bristow. I was gonna say, I
Jim
thought his voice
Carrey
actor was
voices
dead.
Akar!
No.
Jim Carrey! No, not Jim Carrey.
Cummings.
Oh my god! I have mixed up Jim Cummings and Jim Carrey, and I need to go flagellate myself.
I thought you were doing a bit. Did you
I'll be
actually
right
confuse
back.
them?
Also, all my notes for the next... my next 5 notes are about typos, so...
Okay.
I'm just gonna go piss myself.
Alright. See you in a bit. So, anyway, we get back to the main story, which is where, let's see, Gresh and Malum, they're talking again, because that's what they do a lot of. Gresh, of course, and his crew, they've just come out of the cave, that's right, they've just come out of the cave, Malum's there, and all that. And Malum says, look, I don't want no trouble, I just want to get a sword back from them Skrull over there, and you're gonna help me. And the guys are like, oh, okay, I guess we'll do that then. So they sneak into Roxas as stowaways in, some trading caravan. Because I guess that worked well enough for the Toa Metru all those many books ago. Or the Toa Hordiko, I think they were at the time, but anyway. So they sneak into Roxas. They sneak straight into the room where they keep all the stuff. Nobody sees them at all. I guess the Skrull just aren't very attentive. What else do they do? So they're looking through all the treasures, and they find the sword that Malum's looking for. I don't know how they recognize this sword, considering he didn't exactly give them, much of a description, and it's got Akar's name on it.
It's a big sword.
It's a big sword, yeah. And it's the one he wants. And they note that it's not his, it's actually Akar's. And they, when they take it back to him, they're like, hey, this ain't yours.
For a second, before they said that it had Akar written on it, they described it as like, oh wow, this is a really cool sword. I was thinking maybe it was Tahu's sword. Like, this seems to have happened.
Sort of. It sort of is. Sort of, but not. Basically, Akar's sword uses the same piece that will be used for Tahu's last set.
Okay.
It's
in more immediate terms, Akar's sword is also a sword in the shape of a flame. But, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, no, there's really not much special about it. I had this sword and I didn't know... I had Akar's set, and I didn't know Akar was like the greatest Glatorian in the universe, or that his sword was important, or
he's old.
That he was old, yeah.
And he's voiced by Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Yeah. Jim Cummings is one of the many voices of Winnie the Pooh. He voices many characters in life. One of which is
apparently he was accused of rape or something recently.
Yeah, because lots of people are accused of rape recently.
Moving on.
Well, I hope that's not true. But anyway.
It might be, it might not be. We'll never know for sure.
It did actually happen.
Okay.
Well,
the accusations or the rape?
The accusation.
Okay, that wasn't what we were questioning.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that he did not do the rape, is what I'm saying.
Oh, he also voices Pete from Disney. So he's Pete, Minnie the Pooh, and Tigger? Darkwing Duck!
Yay. So, anyway, so they get out of Roxas by, setting some spigots loose, some very hungry spigots, and they just get out of there. They take a tracking device off of the sword, because apparently someone planted a tracking device on it.
Why is Colonel Sanders in Minecraft?
What?
What, Josie,
have you seen...
What are you doing? Are you just, browsing Twitter and just, commenting on it while we're doing this?
Jim Cummings plays Colonel Sanders in Minecraft Story Mode. I don't know why.
Josie, have you seen the Colonel Sanders dating sim coming up?
Yep.
Oh my god, I've seen that.
Anyway, but it was on Jim Cummings behind the voiceactors.com page, so it was relevant to Bonkles. Shut up.
Okay.
Strakk made a chicken cross the road.
Head is currently playing Link's Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Strakk made a chicken across the road joke earlier, but about the great beings.
Did he?
Yep, page 1611. I wrote the number for that.
What did he say?
I don't remember, but he made a chicken cross. Basically, they said, "Why did the great beings go there?" And Strakk said, "To get to the other side." He made a fucking chicken crossing the road joke about gods.
I completely missed that. Okay. Anyway, so the guys, they are they're ploying to get out of there without taking the sword back to Malum, because I guess they just really don't want him to have this sword.
Yeah, well, no, it's because Gresh wants to do the right thing, and the right thing is to not return it to the person who stole it, but to return it to the person he stole it from. That's the right thing in
this situation is to get their friends, out of there safely. I think you can let a guy have a sword.
No, their plan is to do both.
Yeah, but
Gresh doesn't
at
want
the risk
to do
of their own lives.
Gresh doesn't want to do some of the right thing. He wants to do all of the right thing. And
it almost gets him killed.
And Strakk just wants to go home.
Yeah.
Rightfully so at this point.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, they get out of there. They take their spigot and run off, and they try to hide behind a hill. But oh no, it's not a hill; it's a fucking cliff, and they just fall off it.
Yep,
I forgot about that.
That's so funny.
They fall hundreds of feet down to a very shallow pool at the bottom, and it's a miracle they survived.
Gresh goes through okay, how do I most easily survive this? And apparently time seems to stop for him, and he just has time to really think about how to not die, and then he does the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to do is make sure you land feet first, because you'll break your legs, but that's way better than what he did. We just break his fucking head open.
Yeah. So yeah, he ends up landing quite awkwardly in the water, bumps his head on some rocks.
He fucking hallucinates?
Yeah, then he gets this weird vision of, the upcoming raid on Volcanus, which he doesn't know about, and also a shooting star, which he doesn't know about, which turns into a giant, which he doesn't know about.
Yeah, so he gave himself a concussion.
I wonder what all that could mean.
So he gave himself a concussion, and now he can see the future.
Thanks for dream sharing, Vakama.
And he was apparently out for a really long time. So that was fun.
Yeah, long enough for Akkar and Kina to get there from Volcanus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and also for everyone else to wake up, who apparently didn't suffer the same concussions. I guess they just landed on top of him or something.
Because Strakk is... You know what, yeah. They probably landed on top of him. I was going to say, Strakk is probably smarter and knows how you're supposed to fucking land when you fall. Not in your goddamn head, idiot. But, yeah, Ramen Noodles was all like, I really don't want to go to war, but this is taking too long. Let's send the A team to go rescue the B team.
Yeah. So, yeah, Akkar and Kina show up.
Ramen Noodles was voiced by Armin Shimmerman.
This is
He voiced Quark in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
So, you would think that delivering metal wouldn't be so... So, you would think that delivering metal wouldn't be such a big deal, but they're specifically delivering metal through a very, very dangerous route to avoid scalpers.
They're transferring shit along a very dangerous route to avoid another dangerous route, which is ironically less dangerous than this dangerous route.
See, they didn't know how dangerous it'd be. They just knew it was dangerous. So they sent these guys in to test it. Why didn't they send the A-team?
Okay, but like, here's my problem with that. They have so many fucking legends and shit about the Black Spike Mountains, and even Ranu eventually says, like, they went through the Black Spike Mountains? Are they fucking insane?
They wanted to see if the legends were just legends, because they might have been just legends that the Skrull had propagated, or whatever. I'm just confused why they wouldn't send someone more competent like Akkar and Kina, because if they
I'm just confused.
Like shit starts going really smoothly when Akkar and Kina show up.
I'm just surprised they didn't send a scouting team ahead of the caravan just to see if the terrain is navigable first.
You know what? Yeah. Send the competent people to just have a nice stroll through the place, and then if it turns out it's good, then send the incompetent people to deliver the metal. And if the competent people can't just have a leisurely stroll through the place, that might mean it's a little too dangerous for the incompetent people to do anything there.
Yeah.
Ramen Noodles is a dumb shit. Why is he the boss of Volcano Land?
Well, Ranu didn't send them on this mission in the first place. It was, the Iconox people who sent them.
Wait, isn't Metis the leader of Iconox?
No, he's just a Glatorian recruiter.
Okay, do we know who the leader of Iconox is?
Nope, and we never will.
So we'll never know why they're a dick.
No. All we know is they aren't very good at planning these things.
I choose to believe that Metis is the leader because he's an asshole. And
he is an asshole, but...
This is something an asshole would do. Hey, let's send these two dumbasses... One that only wants to do the right thing at the cost of himself, and one that doesn't want to do anything. And two babies, and they carry tons of precious metal on a horse that, if it gets a little hungry, will devour them alive. Through deadly mountains covered in... I don't even know what to call the scroll. Savages, I guess? Whatever.
Yeah. Well,
this is a very stupid plan. I can see why they didn't translate this into English officially.
I mean, all I can say is welcome to Barra Magna. They probably have to deal with stuff like this all the time.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of living that you can do on this planet. So sometimes you just gotta take chances, make mistakes, get messy. I'm describing Magic Treehouse, aren't I? Magic School Bus. Why did I say Treehouse? Could you believe I haven't actually had energy drinks in several days? This is all just regular ass soda.
Huh. Well, there we go.
And a lot of sleep.
Yeah. So, anyway, the guys are debating...
And a sprinkle of fairy dust.
Yeah. So, as soon as Akkar and Kina show up, they're debating what to do next. They're thinking, okay, should we send back for a caravan because, the old one got destroyed? Should we just lug the metal there ourselves, piece by piece? What should we do? And then they're like, hey, I know, let's use Strakk as bait, and we'll lure someone else in and steal their wagon.
And it works out just fine.
And it does. So they lure in some Skrull, led by Stronius, who is one of the very few named Skrull, other than Tuma.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently, Skrull are... It was stated in the My Lego Network campaign thing, I think it was, where Skrull, none of them have fucking names until they earn them.
Yep, they gotta earn their names. That's why Tuma has a name, that's why Stronius has a name, and there's the only two ones.
Well, in Tuma's case, he is also a leader class Skrull, so he was just sort of born into it.
He didn't have to earn it. He didn't have to earn shit. He was like Donald Trump.
He's green.
Ignika would
just
love
like
him.
Donald Trump.
Ignika would like him, but Ignika would like him. He likes green, but he doesn't exist anymore.
But yeah. Anyway, Stronius. Yeah. Stronius happens upon What?
Steven Universe.
What about Steven Universe?
I'll tell you next week.
Okay.
Not later,
Why do
next
you do this?
week.
Whenever the next podcast is, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, three, Half-Life 3,
3D2Y?
poopy
Ooh,
butthole.
I like it, Curtis. So have you gotten that far in One Piece then?
No, I haven't read One Piece in months because I've been reading Bionicle.
Oh.
He's been keeping up with JoJo just fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, you know
finished that today.
how we joke that Greg answers people's questions and comes out with the stupidest pieces of canon that could possibly be established?
Yes.
The One Piece guy was asked if Nico Robin, the lady who can make her extra arms appear in places, if she could do that with her boobs. He said yes.
What was the answer? Oh, okay.
He said yes.
What the hell?
Oh.
What the
The guy
it
who
makes
writes...
sense.
Facebook? Okay, I was just looking on Facebook quickly,
Oh.
and I saw a fucking friend suggestion. His name is SUCK.
Oh.
SUCCYAK. Suckyak.
He sucks yaks. What's the problem?
It's just stock images of a cow.
Not a cow, a yak.
What the hell?
You follow
What is
that...
this?
It's
you
a
follow
What
yak.
is
that name right
this?
there.
It's a yak. Have you
Anyway.
never seen a yak?
Anyway, so
friend this guy.
Liam, I don't think you were paying attention. I just wanted to let you know that Oda, the creator of One Piece, was asked if Nico Robin could boobs, and he confirmed it. So everyone giving Greg shit over that love is canon nonsense and all the other stupid things he said over the years. At least boobs.
Apparently, Nathan, or Avenging Odin, we had him on the podcast before. Apparently, he's friends with Suckyak.
Yeah.
Oh.
You follow that Suckyak right now, you fucking bastard.
So, anyway, back to the book.
They're my new best friend. I'm putting them in my Facebook crushes. Facebook has a dating app now, by the way, and I hope you squeeze.
So, Stronius happens upon Strakk wandering around, and he's like, hello, little boy, how could I help you? I'm very nice and will help you, definitely not kill you. And Strack's like, oh, I dropped all my money, and I need help picking it up. Can you help me, child? and he's like, yes, I will do that. Yes. And then Strakk, makes a few slip-ups, says a few things that he probably shouldn't have, lets the trap on. But then Akar's just like, right, I'm stepping in, and shoots Stronius in the face. And then everyone starts shooting.
I really don't want to keep digressing us, but the Sukyak's Facebook header it's got a stock photo watermark, because of course it does, and the name of the stock photo company is just Big Stock. I find that's just as hilarious as everything else about this.
He's
page.
also
Now
friends
it's
with
my
this
turn
guy.
to digress. I was playing, it reminds me, I was playing No Man's Sky yesterday, and I was, like, trying to put some fucking power pylons on a thing, because I needed to extend my base to an electromagnetic field, because everything requires fucking power now. And I started using the terrain manipulator to build up the land from the bottom of the ocean, but it just ended up looking like a penis by accident. So, no regrets. I just put the pylons on it, called it Big Dick Energy.
Nice. Anyway, it all breaks out into a big firefight. You got Skrull, you got Glatorian. They're shooting at each other, and in the confusion, the Glatorian blind the Skrull with some sand. They kick some sand up in their face using those
Pocket
exploding
sand!
fruits. Yeah, and while the Skrull are blinded, they grab their horses and leg it.
I fucking love it. This big elite Skrull earned a name. They throw sand in him, and he's like, can't see!
Yeah.
He literally says, can't see!
Yep.
It's probably
so yeah,
translation error. He may have been meant to say something more dignified. I love this, though. Fuck it.
Yeah. So they take all the horses, including the one that's carrying the metal. So they end up getting their stuff out of there, and they're almost back to Volcanus when, oh dear, there's Vorox in front of us, and there's Skrull behind us. What are we gonna do? And then Akar has a bright idea. He says, I know. Let's trick them into thinking we're working with the other guys. And it works perfectly.
And they're stupid, so they buy it.
Did we just skip, by the way, did we skip over the part where, like, Malum explains how he got chummy with the Vorox?
No, that's a bit later.
Oh.
So I have a note here. Apparently at some point Gresh says, split up, they can't chase all of us. I happened to read that. I happened to read that yesterday during the Storm Area 51 day, which was very disappointing. Yesterday,
I didn't even realize.
We're recording.
I don't think so, but there are like 1,000 people there.
No,
I didn't know that someone did get arrested for pissing on the gates.
Yeah, there were 7. There was an expected 1,000 people, but only 75 people showed up, and only 2 were arrested.
Oh, I've seen photos. There are far more than 75 people there.
Yeah, the thing is, there was Alien Stock and Rushing Area 51. They were 2 separate events. There were a lot of people there for Alien Stock.
Look,
there was a guy who Naruto ran past a reporter.
Yeah. Look, if a large enough number of people stormed Area 51, it could work, but the thing is, I don't think anyone gives enough of a shit.
It's sad.
And we shouldn't be storming Area 51. It's just fucking planes. Storm ice. They have babies in cages. They need to be stopped.
It's not just planes. It's aliens. I mean, God, if aliens must be the ultimate minority, are you telling me we should rescue people from ice before aliens?
No. See, okay. So here's the deal. They were testing planes at Area 51 one day in the 50s or whatever, and then some civilian was all like, I think I saw something at the night, and then he described the plane they were testing, and they were like, oh shit, we've done a very bad job.
That's not actually true.
We've done
absolutely incorrect.
We've done a very bad job at being secret, and then the guy was all like, I think it was aliens, and then they were like, yes.
That's not true. It was actually, so you know the whole weather balloon thing?
And it links back to Roswell as well.
Yeah.
Roswell. The whole thing with Roswell was,
there was also the fact that we gave them 2 months notice that we were coming to storm them. So if there were aliens there,
true.
In all honesty, I think by this point, even prior to this stupid event, Area 51 is so publicly known about and theorized that, do you really think they haven't moved shit to, like, under Mount Sinai or something?
No, because the fact that no one's actually been into Area 51 yet means that it's still pretty secretive. It's just a very well-known secret.
No one that we've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they would have moved everything out of there by now.
I mean, maybe, but again, we don't know of anyone that's actually been in Area 51. It's a very well-kept open secret.
What if they moved everything to Area 52?
See, the thing is,
What if?
I think there's a military base called Ravenwood or Darkhelm or some shit. I may be mixing it up with a town in DC Comics. Most of the stereotypes about Area 51 and the myths about Area 51 actually refer to a completely different military base in another state altogether. But we're going to storm Area 51 because it's the one with the bad PR.
It's the one with the memes.
Storm the goddamn baby cage facility, damn it!
But what if there's babies there? The most disgusting creatures of all.
Yeah. Yeah, and like 1,000 died and 7 got freed.
Oof.
A dude tried to raid a pizza place because he thought they were keeping children in the basement. Fast forward to now, when places are actually keeping children in the basement. That pizza place.
People were always keeping children in the basement.
They're always.
Oh god, there's a suck spider and a suck snake too.
Oh.
I'm adding them.
Bring them onto the podcast.
Yeah,
Wait,
they should
what?
be our next guests.
No, I gotta. No, I didn't. What did it say?
I need the whole entire Suck Zoo to be a guest on this podcast right now.
Suck Zoo.
That's what it is. If there's a suck yak, a suck spider, and a suck snake, it's a fuck zoo. It's a suck zoo.
A fuck zoo is a very different thing.
You know what? No,
There's the suck squid.
You know what? It's a fuck zoo full of suck animals.
Suck skeleton.
Oh wow, this is an interesting.
Okay, I need to find Suck Skeleton.
That's an interesting exhibit.
How does the skeleton suck, though?
How did we get onto skeleton sucking? We've gone from suck yak to
Gathered
Area
friends,
51
that's how.
to
Gathered
skeleton.
friends, come again and listen to our legend of the suck skeleton.
Oh, 2 more have added me. Suck squishy and suck duck.
What the hell is a squishy?
I don't know.
What the hell
Gathered
is a
Friends,
squishy?
episode 17, Suck Skeletons.
With Eljay Johnsen. You have to put Eljay Johnsen in the
Of
title,
course, yeah.
or else we
always put the guest in the title.
We only get the publicity bump if we put him in the title.
I'm gonna put him at the start of the title this time.
Also, you can't put any profanity in the title, because then I can't tweet it. And also, LJ will be mad because of his brand.
Does suck count as profanity?
No.
No. So just don't call it fuck skeletons.
Only
call it suck
if
skeletons.
you say it with 2 C's.
No.
You've got to
that's
have the
fine.
reverberation for that.
No. That's not profanity. That's memes.
Okay. Memes are fine.
Memes are not fine. Memes are the greatest profanity.
Yeah, I
So,
can't.
anyway.
Yeah, I can't read that. I can't retweet any of these accounts that call themselves shitposts 101 or whatever because of the word shit. Thanks, Liam.
Wow.
So anyway, the guys, they pretend to ally with the Vorox to get the Skrull to attack the Vorox, so the Vorox will attack the Skrull, and then while everyone's attacking each other, the guys can just slip out of there.
You made a very simple plan sound more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah. It's basically just ride towards the Vorox and then win.
Yeah, it's basic, and also shout, "They did it!"
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
it fucking works, and Malum's the
Yeah.
only one who's smart enough to realize what's happening, but he's not... Can't stop it!
Yeah,
Because
Malum's just like, this is happening.
like-
I don't really hate you, Akar. I only hate Gresh and Strakk, but I'm gonna let them go anyway. See ya. And he bumps out of there.
Yep. This is fucking great.
Yeah. And then, so they eventually do escape that little conflict. They're still on their way to Volcanus when suddenly a Scopio attack. But it's not just any old Scopio, it's a robot Scopio.
Yep, the largest Bionicle set ever produced just happens to appear.
Yep. It's just here, and it's attacking them. And
I had no idea they were supposed to be so stealthy. Seriously, it's huge. It's one of the largest Lego sets in general. It's not even close to the top, but it's on there. It's on the list.
Yeah, and it just hides under the sand.
Yeah.
How does Tellurus breathe when it's under the sand?
He probably has a snorkel.
You know what? I actually, thinking back to his set, I do think he has those like breathing tubes on him. So maybe that's how it works.
He has a normal ass gun. Why wouldn't he have Why would he just have a snorkel? He probably just has a whole bunch of just normal ass Earth shit. He's probably got like
that's why he's so feared.
He's probably just got like a paddle ball to play with when he's not busy killing people with his gun that he has.
He's got a little bobblehead on his dashboard.
He's got a little bobblehead. No, it's a Funko Pop, so it's even more out of place in contemporary. It did Funko Pops. I don't think Funko even existed at the time.
I think Funko did, but not Funko Pops.
Yeah, Funko is older than the Pops.
Yeah.
What did Funko do before they did novelty bobbleheads?
I think they did other vinyl toys, but yeah. Anyway.
Funko was founded in 1998.
Wow. That's old.
Yeah, it's like Netflix, I guess. Did you know those photos of Netflix branded VHS tapes are real?
I didn't know about VHS tapes. I knew they did DVDs though.
Well, they did VHS tapes first, and it was not profitable.
Well, there we go. I guess it all worked out for them in the end, though.
Yeah,
with all the, streaming.
Well, I mean, it worked out for a while, and then every other company in the world decided, hey, I'm going to make my own thing. I'm going to put the Lego Movie 2 on HBO now. I just want to tweet Lego Movie 2 memes, but they're all spoilers.
Anyway, so yeah, the Scopio XV1 attacks, they try out various tactics to try and take it down. Eventually they settle on shoving Excidian ingots into its caterpillar treads to stop it from moving, and then Kina jumps on it and rips the driver out.
I just love I love how, like, this thing is the most feared fucking thing in Barra Magna. And it's just the equivalent of that meme where somebody just, they stick a stick into the spokes of their bicycle.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. One, I don't think people are generally carrying Excidian through the desert.
No.
And also,
it is quite rare.
I don't think Akar and Kina are generally doing things. I think they mostly just keep them in reserves and send out the dumbasses to do shit. And if the dumbasses dumbass all over the place, then they send the good people to actually get the job done. Because if they lose the good people by sending them into the unknown, then they just lost the good people. You can't send out Akar and Kina blindly. You gotta send them out to fix whatever the other guy broke.
Yeah, fair enough.
It makes sense.
Anyway, Kina does grab the guy.
But yeah, Tellero Boxer goes out like a bitch.
Yeah, Kina just grabs him, dangles him over the edge, and is like, so, hey, you gonna, go defeat some Skrull for us? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then she just drops him.
Because that's not all he says. He says, yeah, I'll go do it, but then I'll come back and kill you. And then she's like, that's not the right answer.
Well, that's what she just, interprets from his words. He just says he'll go kill the Skrull.
No, I'm pretty sure he did say something along the lines of, and then when it's done, I'm gonna, if you ever come back into the desert, I own the desert. You're in my home now, bitch. And
he might have said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said something like that. I haven't slept in years because God ate my dreams.
Yeah, but regardless, Kina drops him off of his car and he gets knocked out on the floor.
On the sand, the nice soft sand.
Yeah, on the sand.
It's not soft, it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, but there's a lot of it.
It sure took long enough to make that joke.
Yeah,
I was waiting for one of you to do it, because I've never even watched the film, but apparently I have to take on this burden.
Oh, you haven't seen the worst Star Wars movie?
I haven't seen any of them except for the
Holy
Curtis! Original ones.
Curtis, you have done a very bad job at Leviing.
No,
I didn't know you hadn't seen them.
That's because I deliberately didn't. I
Alright, so
deliberately didn't watch Star Wars to annoy people.
So that'll be the Gathered
For about 18 years.
So that'll be the Gathered Friends bonus episode after we're done with Bionicle, because we are going to be done with Bionicle by the end of the year, probably.
Probably.
There's not a whole lot left. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah.
And we're in a completely new planet.
Well, yeah. It is the longest book of them all, but it is the home stretch.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying we're in the home stretch, and this is where they've decided to add an entirely new planet.
It was kind of...
There's a reason for that.
Lego they were planning more, like we were going, like there are 3 planets and we were going to visit the 3rd one, and then Lego was all like, these new toys didn't sell as well as the previous 8 years combined.
Probably because they're meaty.
Also, let's see, the plastic quality took a sharp dive since 2007.
Yeah,
and it just got worse and worse and worse. You know those nifty new fist pieces? Every single one of those broke. Every single one.
Yeah, they didn't have great joints on them.
Yeah, they didn't start making the fist pieces strong enough to last for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And the limb joint pieces that Bionicle had been using forever, they had to be remolded because they were too expensive, and these suck too. Like, I've been talking about how I bought the Glatorian set of the most important character we haven't met yet, and most of the parts broke. And like, wow, that's That's not you buy someone that's supposed to be the most important character in a franchise. You expect them to not break so often, but that's just how Petroleum do. It's real bad. They're working on plant-based plastics. We got another 11 years to go before they fully figured it out, and hopefully we don't all die by then. Because I really would like Lego to be affordable again. That would be nice.
So, yeah, in terms of the story, though, Bionicle is basically just a long string of almost getting ended and then not. So, like, originally it was only meant to last 3 years. So up to the Mask of Light story, you know, when TuragaNuva defeated Makuta in that battle, that was supposed to be the end. But then they realized how well the toys were selling, so they rewrote the ending so that it wasn't the end and extended it for another, 5 years. And then Matanui getting awakened in the previous book, that was supposed to be the end, but then again they realized, well, let's just keep it going. Yeah, and so they extended it. And then there was going to be another story arc, but then they had to cut it short because toys weren't selling well. They wanted to, cut it while it was still doing okay.
Yeah, 2010 would have been the robot dinosaur year, but they canceled that.
Yeah.
We never got the robot dinosaurs. We're getting robot dinosaurs now, 10 years later. But it's just not the same. What could have been?
Anyway.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on. The end of the crossing.
My last 2 notes are about the Malum flashbacks. So let me know when we're there, and I'll stop paying attention.
Literally about to get to it. The end of the crossing. After the whole Tellurus incident, they do get to Volcanus, and they're like, "Cool, we're here. How do we get back?" Yay!
Yay!
Then we flash back to Malum's origin story. So originally he was a Glatorian. He was the prime Glatorian of Volcanus. He was their strong guy.
Secondary.
Wait, was he second? I thought he was prime.
Yeah, he was the
never
secondary.
the prime Glatorian.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was always second fiddle to
Akar
Akar.
is like the top dog, best boy.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
was too grumpy.
Yeah.
Malum's too grumpy. He's a grumpy puss.
Yeah, so they have this thing where, Malum, he has this habit of almost killing his opponents, and people have to step in to stop him killing them.
He's very aggressive, and everyone hates him.
Yeah, they just keep him around because it's easier to, keep an eye on him when he's in the village, basically.
Yeah. That's not a good excuse for everyone he almost kills, but...
Yeah. Including Vastus, who he fights
the real
in this...
reason they keep him around is because they don't have a lot of Glatorian around.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, Malum almost kills Vastus, and then Strakk goes in and, stops him at the last second. And then Malum has a little chat with Akar about, how about, Malum, you don't quite beat people within an inch of their life every single fight. And Malum's like, no, but I like fighting. I want to beat them. I want to win.
And throughout all of this, he thinks he's doing a good job, even though he's definitively not.
Even though everyone's telling him, stop being so violent, he's like, no, this is, like, my pride, my honor. I will be violent
including,
all the time.
Is Ramen Noodles, like, the president of Bara Magna or something, or is he just the guy in charge of Volcano Land?
He's in charge of Volcanus. I don't know about the rest, really.
Because he seems to be the most important Agori in general.
Yeah. But yeah, at some point they look at some Vorox, and there's a little bit of, I guess, foreshadowing, but we already know what it's foreshadowing to.
They're still doing it!
The obvious callback stuff, where he's like, oh, you'd never catch me living like an animal.
I love that they've turned call forwards into a running gag. It's so hilarious. I'll never be caught dead living in the desert like some dirty Vorox. Says the guy who becomes...
call forward.
I hate it so much.
It's a post-emptive call forward, and they've done it like 17 times.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Those aren't even words that should exist.
It's the best. It's the best. They're probably going to keep doing it. I don't know. I don't even think there are many more flashbacks, but I'm sure they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. But anyway, then we skip ahead a few months, and Malum's beating up some more jungle boys in the arena, and then Malum and Ranu have a little discussion about maybe not killing people, and Malum again says, "No, I want to kill people." And then skip ahead 2 more months to Strakk versus Malum. This is the big fight. Yes.
That kills people.
Malum! That kills people, Malum!
God, I haven't thought about those videos in years.
So
they didn't really stand the test of time.
I'm now imagining that Ranu has the voice of Paul the Llama with hat.
Nice.
The great beings who I'm supposed to hate. I don't think he's the one who says it. I think it's one of the green. I think it's one of the green guys.
So it's Strakk versus Malum. This is, of course, the big fight that got Malum exiled, as we will soon find out. As he beats Strakk, gets him down on the ground.
This time is different because he literally says, "I'm going to kill you in this ring right now with everyone in the world watching me."
He literally says, "I'm going to kill you. You're going to die."
And he lifts his fucking sword, and he's about to fucking do it, and then Gresh...
Your life will cease. Death will come for you.
Mortality will occur.
Everyone makes jokes about Kopaka and Lekon being Captain America. I think Gresh is Captain America, because he just tackles Malum, and he's not even in this fight. It's like he tackles him from the stands. It's great.
Yeah. So
I am the goodest boy, and I cannot let you break even one rule. Yeah. Especially when that one rule is killing that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say killing my friend, but that's not right. It's too much of a dick.
So at this point, Ranu's like, okay, enough's enough. You clearly showed murderous intent there. we're gonna have to exile you, because if we don't, then the other villages will stop agreeing to this whole Glatorian system thing. And that will just be bad for everyone. So we're gonna send you out, you can have some you can have some water, you can have some food, you can have a sword if you want, and Malum's like,
I don't
nope,
want your fucking food.
I don't want any of that. I'll just take the Kordak blaster instead.
Yeah, why does
I
he
love
have a
too how
Kordak?
he had like TuragaNuva's sword in the beginning of the comic too. That's my only note for this entire thing.
It's like Halo. It's like Bionicle Heroes all up in this bitch. They're just like tossing in random set pieces that they have the model sheets for, I guess.
Why did he have... Okay, so this is just absolutely baffling to me. So for some reason in this comic, in one panel, he just has a Kordak blaster, and then in like he throws it away 2 panels later.
He throws it away because it's like the scene where Rydak broke Liwa's sword. He just throws his weapon away because he wants to wrestle with the Vorox. Even though they have swords growing out of their goddamn butts!
Why did he even have... why did the comic artist, or Greg writing it, or whoever is responsible, why did they give him a Kordak blaster in the first place if he was just gonna throw it away?
So that he could be cool when he threw it away.
Bionicle Heroes! They just want
Just
to
have him take the sword that Ranu offered him, then.
Just have a big-ass sword. Also,
But it was cool when he threw away the sword, too.
I like
He got double cool.
I like that just about every single reference to eating food in this entire book is about Malum and eating exploding fruit soup.
Yeah.
He's, I guess, the only person in this planet who eats food and only soup.
It's all soup.
There's only soup.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
There's only soup. Well, that's Malum. That's Malum's voice now. That's Malum's voice. There's only soup here.
Yeah.
I'm at soup.
I mean, we never got a canon voice for Malum, so I guess that might as well be it.
I'm at soup. Fuck
And
you.
then- Yeah. He's out in the desert. He finds some Vorox, and he's
Soup.
like, "I'm your king now."
I am your soup now.
He beats up the strongest one, and they all bow down to him. Yeah.
Drink my
And
soup.
then he exiles the strongest one, but then goes out 2 days later to kill it anyway.
Yeah. Well, he didn't want him coming back later to challenge his rule.
Yeah, but just...
And then they all get
Why?
captured by the Skrull.
And then he badasses their way into more happy.
Yeah. Then we get...
Oh, right. So that was my last actual note about that then. The Kordak blaster screaming. And then my last 2 notes are about the name of the next chapter, and also I need to probably explain why I have Gresh as a lawyer in my notes.
Yeah, so this next chapter, the Book of CERT, this is a tiny baby book for babies.
Oh, right.
Even more so than the previous tiny baby book for babies that we had in the last book.
Oh, right. The next chapter after the last chapter, the next chapter after the last one we read is where the title is a note that I have.
Oh, okay.
I actually honestly really prefer that format to the regular comics, to be honest.
Yeah,
the art I can take or leave, but the format itself is really nice. Just that storybook feel to it.
Fair enough.
There's artwork in this book that looks like medieval fucking paintings, and I mean the incredibly memey ones where the one where Barracks has the book open and he's looking at it, and it just screams, Aiden would love this.
I thought the early reader book looked like absolute shit, to be honest.
I quite like the art style in it, actually.
I like the art. I just think that it's really awkward and resembles the things that... you've seen the memes. You've seen all these medieval paintings that just make no sense.
Yes.
They really liked butts.
At the very least, this is more expressive than the Pop Man art in the main comics.
Yeah, you've got to realize that sometimes, aesthetics are more important than detail.
Yes, absolutely.
Maintaining the feel
Personally,
to it.
I don't think it really had either, is what I'm saying.
No,
I can't agree with you there.
So their faces are just lines, are just lines in the shape of their features, and I think that works.
Yeah. I think especially considering the target audience of this book, that being young readers, I think it works.
Yeah, this is like for 2-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
You can't sell a book about reading to books.
I mean, I think the TuragaNuva book had better art.
Guys,
I'll give you that.
This book is a book about reading books.
It is.
The art in this one
Also,
just
shout outs to the scroll that just said "CERT of us."
Yeah.
2 lines
in Matoran writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the art in this just really reminds me of the the intro to Avatar. The Last Airbender.
Lego has a lot of money. They don't have enough coordination they don't have as much coordination as you would think. There's probably lots of miscommunications whenever anything happens. Like Maku is referred to as male in some comic somewhere. And the Kordak blaster nonsense. So the Matoran writing in this book is probably just someone fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, I can imagine it's just that they didn't get around to designing an Agori writing system like they did for the Matoran.
They could have just gone with how Steven Universe does it and just scribbles.
Yeah, I suppose.
There's a scene. There's a scene in Steven Universe where a character that can't talk writes their name down on a piece of paper, and Steven just thinks that they just scrawled just lines all over the paper. Turns out, no, that was language. It's just Steven's dumb and didn't ask what it said.
Well, it also depends on the scene too. Like Obsidian's sword just straight up has Korean on it.
Well, that's more of an animation Easter egg than a real thing. Because the Sunman animation is Korean, and also the Bad Studio that animates Steven Universe. They're both Korean. But, the Korean people, they like the words.
They like their own language.
He likes green!
So, I like this book. This little young reader's book. It's neat.
It's neat.
It's real simple, though.
It's green.
Yeah,
it
is about the green boy.
Ignico would like green.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically...
I forgot about that.
So, basically, Gresh, he's fighting Tarax. He's just training. And he's like, I better learn some new moves. And Barracks has a scrap of paper, and he's like, hey, it's CERT of us, innit? He's like that guy who knew how to do moves real good. And
apparently he's like the most famous Glatorian ever, but he died. And
and then Gresh is all like,
like they keep I think it was Malum who screamed at someone that Certivus is dead and soon you'll join him and blah blah blah. And I thought, wow, I wonder what killed him. And I looked it up, and it's really anticlimactic.
It was a snake.
No, he natural causes.
I mean, to be fair, that's the most badass way you can die.
I mean, that's
even life couldn't kill you.
It basically meant that everything that tried to kill him got its ass kicked, except death itself, which is
the only sentient being in Bionicle history to die of natural causes.
I think so.
Probably. Implying...
I know Makuta made a bunch of fucking Rahi that quote-unquote died of natural causes, but this is just he just lived out his life.
Yeah, implying...
The Shadow Leeches only live 2 days, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so basically this guy is the strongest. Nothing could kill him. He just decided one day, well, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, even if we're discounting Rahi and things, I'm sure this is definitely the only sentient being who died of natural causes.
Yeah, and again, he probably could have beaten the shit out of the Grim Reaper and all right.
Wait, am I getting sentient and sapient mixed up?
All right, I'm that one.
I think so. Yeah, sentient is aware of existence.
Yeah, no,
Alright,
I meant sapient. Yeah.
I'm that fancy lady from that episode of Billy and Mandy. I'm immortal now. Bye. No, he's like, fuck it.
But anyway, Gresh is like, huh, you got that scrap of paper with his name on it? I bet that means there's a whole book of things that he wrote. And so they go looking for the book. And then they almost immediately find it. Some Voroks attack him. Gresh beats him up over some literal hours
And then
until it's nighttime.
And then he remembers he got a brain.
Yeah.
And it turns out that was what was written in the book. That was all of what was written in this book. It's a whole ass book, and it just has one sentence. It says, "Hey, brain."
Yep. and he learns that lesson along the way.
And Gresh doesn't even
outsmarting
check.
some Voroks.
Gresh is all like, "Yeah, I don't need. I'm already the best. I don't need to read a book about how to be the best." And Barracks reads it, and just the artwork is glorious.
He was the best. That he was the very best, like no one ever was.
Oh yeah. We should probably mention, congratulations to our boy Ash Ketchum for finally winning a thing.
Congratulations.
No, fuck it. I hate it.
22 years it took him
I wanted him to live his
thing.
entire life of failure. I wanted Gary Oak to be the winner in the end.
Well, here's the thing. He won the Alolan.
Really?
See, canonically, Alola, this should be their first Pokemon League, which means Ash basically won a participation trophy.
I'll take that.
I can go with that.
Yeah, basically, he won by showing up and being better than people who have. He won
Also
because
showed up.
he won because no one else had any experience, and he had some experience. And usually, he fights people that have all the experience.
Look,
Yeah, he's failed in like 17 different leagues now. It doesn't speak well for the people of Alola.
Yeah,
he's had a long, hard, 22-year-long career between the ages of 10 and 11, okay?
yep. Canonically,
Did he actually age to 11 now?
I think so.
finally, you know the
And
guy.
now he's getting written out of the show.
The guy who created.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, they're rebooting it. They're not going to have Ash anymore.
Why
No,
did
Galar
it
is
take
gonna
so
have
long?
Gala's got to have a fucking... I hope it's got a Cockney accent who the main
Why
character.
weren't they doing
hope
this
so.
from the
Or a
beginning?
really, like, strong Brummy accent. That'd be funny.
Why weren't they doing this from the beginning? Like, have an anthology thing, like JoJo.
Jojo is George.
No,
Because
no,
money.
no. Imagine Pokemon.
Everybody
imagine,
knows Ash.
Imagine JoJo, but it's Pokemon. Think of it.
I mean, that's what we're
Moving
getting
on.
now.
Josie
Oh.
starts with Joe. Are you a Jojo?
You've heard everything. You know everything I'm going to do, but I know everything you're going to do. Thundershock, isn't it?
Moving on.
Yes, so,
That's
anyway,
a one per
last chapter
episode,
now.
by the way.
Last chapter, this is the Fall of a Terror comic.
Oh fuck, we were supposed to read
Oh,
this.
I didn't know we were supposed to read that. I didn't do that.
My note.
Well, chapter 10.
It said we were supposed to read through chapter 10. I read through chapter 10,
yeah.
and this was Fall of a Terror was chapter 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
We're not reading chapter 11.
We're not doing Fall of a Tarot.
I didn't.
Hang on. Have I got the chapters wrong here? Because
Yes!
I could have...
My only
Well,
note
no.
about Fall of a Terror was that the title is.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. It says chapter 11 right on it.
Okay, well, I'm looking at it right now,
Don't
and it
do
says
this
chapter
to
10.
me! Don't do this to me!
Let me just link it to you real quick. Okay, so
Chapter
there.
10 is a comic.
It starts as a comic, and then
Yeah,
it turns
but,
into
like-
writing.
Oh, yeah, Full of a Terror. Then yeah, that is on the website version.
It's
Okay.
not on ours.
On Crosswired
well,
Geeks,
There must have been an
it's
update
chapter
that you
10.
guys didn't inform us about.
Well, if
I
you're
mean, the
reading the
comic bit
website,
is
it's always
literally-
updated.
We're supposed to be reading it from the website now, but I'm not.
Yeah, and I prefer the PDF.
Why?
I don't know.
Because I can have it on my tablet and I don't have to have internet access to read.
For the same reason.
You know
that-
you can download a web page, don't you?
For the same reason that I still use Lego Digital Designer, even though everyone in the fucking world is telling me to use anything else. It's because I'm me and I am stupid. Liam, you don't have an excuse. Do the fucking good thing.
Well, if this is chapter 10, then what the hell changed between the previous version?
Maybe.
Don't know.
Because Fall of a Tarot is chapter 11 and what we're looking at.
Oh, I think I know it. I think I know what it is. There's a chapter 1.5 in the online version.
Yes, that's probably what it is. Yeah. Okay.
And what would that be?
That's the Lego Network campaign.
No, that was in this.
Yeah, I know, but what I mean is, in your version, that's counted as chapter 2. In the web version, that's 1.5.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So-
Well, I guess I'll be reading Fall of a Tarot next.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to that next time. All
This
right.
is a good place to stop anyways, because this
It
is the
is.
start of the next arc.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. That's fair enough.
My only note about Fall of the Tarot, because I didn't read it, was the title. When I first saw it, the first thing that popped in my mind is there's a character from Sliders played by John Rhys Davies named Professor Maximilian Arturo, and that's all I think of when I see this, because Arturo doesn't sound like a real word.
That's fabulous knowledge you've chosen to share with us, Jerry.
Also,
I'll treasure it.
I have come to realize that Disney owns the rights to Sliders. Sliders was canceled before tying up any of its plot lines, and Disney Plus
know what I
is
just
bringing
realized?
back a whole bunch of shit, and
We're done this in not even 2.5 hours this time.
I know, it's like the good old days of episode 3 or something.
The chapters are longer. What happened?
We read 10 of them.
less happens.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're longer. As Curtis said earlier, a few weeks, the days ago, whatever ago, the chapters are longer to compensate. So it's
Yeah,
Okay,
but not
amount of
twice
reading.
as long.
Basically, less happens, and Greg needs to write better in order to make it interesting.
That is a good point, because as I brought up
Yeah.
earlier, the entirety of the crossing can be summed up in a Benny Hill skit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, basically. Curtis.
Yeah, there's a lot of repetition.
Curtis, you know what song to put the animated intro to?
Oh boy.
You'll probably have to play it on like Kazoos or something.
Oh god,
yes.
yakety sax on kazoos.
Copyright is copyright and whatever. God, I hate.
God, now I gotta go get a kazoo.
God, I hate copyright.
No, get an electric kazoo.
Did you know fucking?
What?
Did you know
Have
fucking?
you ever heard those?
Did you know
No.
fucking NBC licensed The Office to fucking Lepin?
No, I
Here.
didn't know that, but okay.
I'm gonna link this, and you're going to shit yourself.
Yeah.
Put it on the stream.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
An electric kazoo.
Oh no.
Hey, you've got your new electric
Kazoo
kazoo.
hero.
What are you going to do next? You're going to plug it in.
This
You got an
is
effects pedal? No.
incredible.
Some kind of effects processor? No.
Anyway,
Don't worry.
so
You can get
Lepin
by
doesn't
fine with
exist
just a little guy
in
like this.
America,
a rolling mini
but
cube.
they
It's a great sounding little amp. It's got effects built into it.
they
and you
have
can
an
plug your
American
electric
distributor.
kazoo straight
Sure,
into
sure,
it,
sure.
and it makes
Oh.
a great sound.
Oh, we're watching.
I just skipped to 25 seconds in, and that
This
That's
is what
incredible.
you need to play it
You can
on.
rock the electric
Oh my god,
kazoo
yes.
on a mini cube.
I gotta look these up. I gotta find out. They can't be that expensive, right?
Curtis, surely your dad
Jessica.
has some weird instruments. In that,
He just
like,
has
attic.
guitars.
He's got, like, an attic whole hive that he retreats into.
It's just got 2 guitars and a sequencer in it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was imagining it as, like, a grotto of strange musical stuff.
Oh dear. But
An
no,
electric harp.
okay. Well, I guess that's gonna be the intro music. But now we should do the outro.
Wait, hold on. I need to explain
Also,
that joke
wait.
On your
earlier.
head.
So,
Yes.
Your boy.
so Gresh,
Who is your guy? Hashtag your guy.
Dakota. What new guy do you like? And your choices are Gresh and Akar because they're the best ones. Okay,
Cool.
now anyone who's not Gresh or Akar, who's your best guy?
Malus, or is it Malum?
Malum. Malum's cool.
Yeah.
Melon.
Melon!
And then there was something I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So earlier you were talking about Eljay was talking about how it was on Spherus Magna that the story's taking place now. That kind of crushed me because I've had throughout the entirety of reading this just this slight suspicion that all of this was just leading up to, and then Makuta stepped on the entire island.
I mean,
because there was no investment in half of the characters. I was just like, these have got to be just like, this is a sacrifice.
Hey, you remember when Gresh bumped his head and he imagined seeing a giant?
No.
Oh, Gresh bumped his head.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll just say you will remember that later.
You will remember that later.
Okay. Levi will remember this.
Now,
I was just going to make that joke.
Now, they are on a different planet, but also not, because Bara Magna literally spun off of Spherus Magna. Aqua Magna, Bara Magna, and the unexplored Boda Magna were once part of one bigger planet called Great Ball.
Great Ball.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
So during the Lego campaign, My Network campaign, whatever, Gresh was the one who suggested and drafted the contracts for the soup contracts. I don't remember what they were doing.
To protect Volcanus.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The point is, Gresh is apparently a lawyer.
Huh.
Because he draws up a contract and everyone is all like, yeah, I'll sign this. This looks like a thing. This is official.
To be fair, the contract probably consists of do not kill. And everyone was probably just like, yes, wise, enlightened.
It's like, Gresh seems to have a very good moral integrity. He probably knows all the rules, and technically that is what a lawyer is. A lawyer is just someone who knows how the rules work and how to not break them. Yeah, so, technically, I guess Gresh is, in fact, Bionicle lawyer. Dun dun!
Ace Attorney Gresh.
Who voices Gresh again? Shit.
You know what? I don't know.
Whoever voices Gresh, I need them to scream objection.
Yes. Okay, and with that, I think we will wrap up here. It's all cool. We're all done, basically.
Yeah. So, congratulations, Liam. You don't have to miss your goddamn orgy.
I know. It's incredible. So next time, episode 18.
I hope not.
Yes.
Dakota, it is only Liam's goddamn orgy. You have a good time at your party.
We're both going to the same thing!
I know! But I like one of you.
So, episode 18. we will be reading book 9, chapters... Well, I've got it written down as 11 through 29, but I guess if you're reading the PDF version, it'd be chapters...
I'm gonna try to start reading the internet version now.
I'm gonna update the PDF version, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start
if you're reading the old PDF version, it's chapters 10 through 28, I guess.
Or just make a note in your phone of which chapter correlates to which in the
I'm
PDF.
gonna start trying to read. I'm gonna start trying to read the internet version like a good girl. Is the next episode going to be the one that touches on the movie, or is there going to be more fucking bullshit?
It's more bullshit and then the movie in the next episode after that.
Oh,
Dear
wait,
God,
we're getting a movie?
Greg is taking...
Oh, yeah, we're getting a movie. Yeah.
Regular talk about voice actors is for.
Greg is taking his sweet-ass time to introduce the coolest thing ever.
Huh.
Yeah, we're going to get to the movie, but But first off, next time, chapters 11 through 29 of the web version. We got a guest lined up. It's SharkwolfDarkwolf. He's going to be on and cool. And with that, we will end. Everybody say goodbye.
Significant shrinkage.
Small ball.
Bye!